We'll do it live. Fuck it.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing,
You're so
limousine
dumb.
like, jet flying.
Don't run away from your
And I'm
feelings.
having a hard time holding these alligators down.
We'll do it live. You're so dumb. You are really dumb. English, motherfucker. Do you speak it? Don't run away from
You're
your
talking
feelings.
to the Rolex
We'll do it live. English, motherfucker. Do you speak it?
wheeling dealing.
English,
Wow. Yeah, it was basically
Shout out
just trying to.
this guy,
Keep
the
him
engineer, doing what he does. Boat Fool, Capital L, the Fool and Friends, episode 27. Thank y'all for coming in once again. Shout out to Roland, already in the chat. Shout out to Sweden.
Hey.
Word.
What up, fam?
We love Sweden.
We love y'all.
Swedish stuff, man.
Hey, DJ Hurley, he's in
That's
Sweden.
my man,
DJ
Hurley.
But yeah, I'm gonna do my best to be in the chat because somebody gotta do it, right? But if y'all been following us, y'all already know how we're gonna do this evening. We got What We Do in the Shadows episodes 1 through 5, season 1. We got Debs season 1, episodes 1 through 4, and District 9. We will be reviewing. But as we always do, as we start the show, we like to get in some news. We like to talk about some shit. The big news right now, though, on everybody's plate, on everybody's fucking Facebook, even not the serious gamers, PS fucking 5.
Sony's new router.
Woo, right.
Damn right.
Give a round of applause for the router, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
missed it.
That is an expensive ass router.
Yo, it's a clean looking router.
It is.
It is clean. But shout out to Sony though. They kind of like, they held off due to all the crazy shit going on, and I think it was a good move because everybody actually paid attention, and a lot of people were watching. I watched some of it while I could. Some of the standout titles though for me, easily Spider-Man, Miles Morales.
Fuck yes.
But here's the
Oh,
thing,
what are
I
we
got a
talking
problem with
about?
this,
I
and we're
missed
going to
it.
discuss
Show your
this.
work.
But also Ratchet and Clank looks fucking amazing.
Gran Turismo for me.
Yeah, never been a big fan of Ratchet and Clank, but this shit looks great. It looks like a fucking Pixar movie.
I missed it.
Yes, I
Like,
keep hearing that.
It's beautiful. But I'm going to jump straight into this Spider-Man shit. So I found that it's not an actual his own game.
No. Okay, so I heard about that, and there's some back and forth, okay?
Yeah.
So Sony said that it was an expansion. And
Right.
then Insomniac, 4 hours ago, they're like, no. Back the fuck up. This is a real standalone game. So, this is going to be homie's time to
But
shine.
it's supposed to take place during that same time frame.
No, I don't think so, because,
Because at the end of the Spider-Man, spoiler alert, the game Spider-Man PS4, it's fucking amazing.
Yep.
But at the end, obviously Miles Morales. He's Peter's training Miles at the end of the game.
So to my thing is that I don't think it's gonna be, or it's gonna exist, but this is gonna be like Miles's moment.
You think so?
Because, yeah. Well, look at what did you watch the trailer? Or
Yeah,
no?
yeah.
What did the trailer say at the beginning when he's getting hit and everything?
Yeah.
He said, "Your father was a hero.
Right.
This is what he raised you to be."
Right.
So that's literally Peter telling him "Yo, this is your time to shine, homie.
Yeah.
Go get that. Clap these motherfuckers."
And his father was in the Spider-Man game itself.
And he died.
That's what
So-
I loved about that game. They put you in the focal points of everybody. That
Not
was
only
important.
that, but they merged the universes in a way. So
And it's a solid story. I could see that on the big screen. I could. All the acting,
Yep.
the voice acting, everything was so well done in that game. It's ridiculous.
So here's my only gripe with the PS5. I'm not a fan of the white, and if Sony really wanted to add the cherry on top for its fans, those white panels, it should have done them in PlayStation 1 gray. That would have been lit. That would have been fucking
the gray with
dope.
the black inside.
No. Just
all gray.
Yeah. Black. Okay. Yeah. You can do the black on there,
They
but
can't do another version of it later on. though.
exactly. No, they can, and they're probably going to milk more people for that. I hate to say this because you guys have heard me say this shit on the show numerous times. I will never buy a day one release. And fucking Sony almost wheeled me in with all the shit that they showed me. They're like, "Oh, we're just going to leave this bait out here for you." got me fucked up. They almost got me thinking about it, but I was like, no, dude. From what it stands right now, no one's talked price point, but I keep hearing like $1,000.
Well, it's been rumored between 6 and 5.
6 and 5.
Yeah, that's I've seen that too,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
like I've seen that, but that I gotta say it definitely looks good. But as a PC gamer, it's nothing that a PC can't do.
And you're right. And the thing is that to me, and I've always been at like I've dabbled in a lot of PC stuff, but it's only with, guess what, RTSs,
Right, which makes sense.
And I liked it. I mean, believe it or not, my first exposure to the RTS was on a Sega Saturn. Shout out to fucking Westwood making a port version, a Saturn port version of Command and Conquer.
Fucking
Nice.
Saturn.
Was that
Yeah.
Red Alert?
Yeah, no, it was just the OG one.
Oh shit.
Oh,
OG,
wow.
yeah, it was OG Command and Conquer and Sega Saturn.
That's awesome.
Right, so I got that, but no, so that was my so I never even when I was like, wait, RTSs come in computers? No shit. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it's just a lot easier too because the point and the click and all that shit.
So, but still, to me, it's so PC gaming. It is the best, but it's just that the investment, because it is an investment. It is a
Factual.
serious
Big facts.
But it is a serious investment.
Yeah.
Like you can easily drop 2 stacks and not even have the cutting edge shit. It's just and not a lot of people go for that. Like to me, back my dream, and it's called the RTS Killer, and it's because it would have something like 32 gigs of RAM or 64 gigs of memory, just so I could run like fucking 500 units.
Right.
One
Well,
time.
and that's the thing. Like, surprisingly, a lot of that shit is a lot easier done nowadays. But it just, I mean, don't get me wrong. It looks amazing. A lot of the titles they showed,
Yeah.
they look like they're bringing something pretty solid to the table. I will say this, though. I think this is the last hurrah.
Okay, and I'm actually going to talk to you about that, but let me just make on one point because I'm probably the only gearhead here. Yo, Gran Turismo 7, motherfucker.
That shit did look sexy as
And
fuck.
the thing, it kind of pissed me off that Polyphony dragged its ass so long, because and on this generation, I was definitely on Xbox One side when it came to the racing sim thing. Because
with that.
you came out with Forza Horizon 3 and 4.
Yeah.
You had, I think, 3 actual Forza titles, and they all looked fucking gorgeous. Fucking PlayStation only gave us Gran Turismo Arcade. What's up?
Shout out to Carol.
We love you, Carolyn.
I just want to say, Carol, this ain't the show for this. Just, I'm not going to read this comment out loud, but you're in the wrong place, Carol. Appreciate you, though.
What's she trying to
Appreciate
do?
you for
I
tuning
gotta
in.
know now.
Yeah,
What's going on?
now you
We're
open the can of
good.
worm.
If anybody's in the comment section, shout out to you, Carol.
All right,
Facebook
but
anymore.
yeah, now you got to pass it around or something, man.
We're not bringing it up because you're gonna have. I'm not.
Carol Beth.
You already know he's gonna go shit berserk. Just don't read it, but don't. Okay,
Read it, but don't.
Read it, but don't do you for once.
is-
Just let it ride. All right,
No comment here.
right. All right, let it ride.
I could, but I'm not.
All right. So to me, all right. So, but no. So
God, can I say something?
No.
So Polyphony just dragged its ass. They
Right.
gave us like some half-ass like fucking arcade shit that was exclusively online, and it was like it had these paywalls and shit. And I was like, really? You guys spent this and one of the longest video game generations like dragging your feet, and that was it. You guys didn't do anything else. That was it. Like, and it's so glad to see something like full-fledged like this.
Yeah.
Now, one of the crazy things, and I forget what the test is called, but it's been talked about in Westworld. It's talked about with AI and shit.
Yeah.
Where your mind and your perception
you can't
starts to
distinguish
fuck
it from reality.
Exactly,
Yeah.
dude. And to that end, I will say that I think we've got another generation, and here's why. Because both Sony and fucking Nintendo
Talking about full deep dive.
no, well, not even full deep dive, but just the fact that I was looking at this.
Something like the Beckham test or something like that.
Something like that. I forget what the
yeah,
name of the test
right,
is.
yeah.
But I was looking at this dude, and it was flirting with that line. Like, at one point, like, I had to, like, when I was looking at GT7, I had to, like, kind of, like, bounce back from that. And then, did you
Right.
see the trailer for 2K21. Bro, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like Zion looks
Yeah.
like he is fucking real. Like this looks like it is real.
Dude, Resident Evil 8.
Yeah, no, but even the detail, dude. Yeah, no, those are great, but like, no, look at Zion,
Ray tracing
dude. No,
Minecraft
look at the trailer. If you haven't seen the trailer,
I gotta watch it.
you gotta watch it, dude. And the thing is that you can tell like the detail that they put into Zion's like everything, like, and all he does is dribble the ball and dunk it. That's all he does. But the thing is that like just the way that the light and everything reflects in it, how it like your brain perceives it. Dude, no, yeah, you see sweat
It's
trickling
always
down.
a big thing with 2K people talk about is the sweat.
No, dude, like you see the sweat like trickling down, like, and it makes the curvature where like it goes around his eyebrow and shit,
Well, it's
dude.
the little details that make the game great. Like,
And-
even
well-
just like watching like grass blow in the wind and
Yeah.
see the individual grass blades.
But
you know?
again, those are
It's
things
like
that
you
feed
do
into
a replay and you zoom in, you're like, what?
dude,
the
and
fuck?
that,
I
but
just
those,
did that,
but
yeah.
those are the things. Those
that
are the
was
things
unreal.
that like play into your like perception, and you're like your brain has a hard time just like, wait, this is real.
Yeah.
Bro,
and then-
since they've been doing this, like since the shutdown and everything, they've been doing video games on TV.
Yeah.
I'll be walking through somewhere, like, and you'll have somebody that's older, and like they'll be like, "They're playing football." Like, nope.
Yeah.
That's a simulation,
Dude, and that's
Like,
but again, that's how real shit's
Yeah.
getting. And then and I think there's going to be a compromise, all right? Because if you leading into your question when you said that this generation is going to be the last hurrah, one more generation maybe. And I think it's just that I don't think that they're going to do away with developing software for it, if you will. It's just going to be like a plateau. Okay, where these systems will probably continue to operate and there'll still be support for them. You know, because you look at how many indie gamers went back and developed shit for Nintendo, for Super Nintendo.
Right, that's true.
So even then, there's still going to be a subculture that isn't going to let this go. Now, the compromise that I'm talking about is that, believe it or not, Sony released a digital version. And I don't know if you saw this,
no
guys.
disk drive.
No disk drive. So all your shit is going to be directly downloaded. And like, but again, this goes back to what I was telling you, because when we were talking about how big these games are going to be, how detail oriented this is.
Yeah.
Dude, imagine someone in the fucking Australian outback getting a fucking digital. Dude, it's not gonna happen.
Feasible.
It's not feasible. Like, dude, this poor fucking guy in the outback in the bush in Australia is gonna spend a fucking month downloading half of fucking 2K21. No, it doesn't work. So I think until the internet issue gets resolved, there's still gonna be this hardware hard
There's
thing.
also people like me that like to collect the physical versions too. You know,
Exactly. And with you, so you watched the bulk of the reveal?
I actually did not.
No. Did you? Which parts did you catch?
I didn't see it at all.
Oh, you didn't?
I didn't even know about it until like recently.
Oh yeah. So okay. So Resident Evil 8 looks amazing.
I'm not a fan of the first person thing.
that. I don't know if that's
First person?
specifically.
Should be
They-
third person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's specifically cinematic wise
Yeah.
or like scenario wise.
Because Big Red, going back to your question real quick, after Resident Evil 7 was actually done as a first person.
for real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it actually got a
fine.
positive review because that Capcom tried something different. But for someone that grew up with like the third person thing all the time, it kind of alienated me. It still worked from what I understood, and the story was great. But
I'm willing to try it.
if they do 8 like a first person, you can count me out. I think
that's understandable.
Really?
Kind of the same.
Yeah.
So, real quick, and one last thing on that actually, because there's at least one more story I want to get into. Shout out to the Joe. He just sent me a message about GTA Online. You're going to be getting a free $1 million a month until it comes out on PS5.
Hey.
But
Oh, damn.
with that same thing, shout out to them to creating something that they have been milking for over 7 years now.
Dude, that's fucking brilliant though.
8
That is
years.
brilliant on their
8
end.
years.
2013.
Like
Yeah,
I will give them
12,
credit that
13.
they managed to milk it for so long. But it was crazy because I seen a meme today where they showed it was like 2000 and something to, I forgot the year span, but it was the GTA 3, San Andreas, Vice City, the Ballad of Gay Tony,
Yep.
The other one that came out that time too, GTA 4,
Chinatown Wars,
Chinatown Wars. There
which
you
was
go.
Game Boy Advance.
Surprisingly decent, actually.
Yeah,
the
right?
fact
It was a
that
sleeper.
They had all of those, and then in the same amount of time, we've had GTA 5.
On
All right,
PS3,
so-
PS4 and coming soon. to PS5.
So here,
Right.
I think here's my thing with that. If Rockstar is doing this the way that they're running there. I guess it's the tortoise versus the hare type shit.
I think it's more just so honestly that if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yes,
But it's also like
They probably have something huge behind the scenes.
Well,
going on.
complacency.
yeah, it is complacency. Yeah, where you say okay, but I don't think it's complacency. All right.
I mean, it's making enough
and maybe
money.
well here's I'm going to give Rockstar the benefit of a doubt right now.
I
all right?
want to.
Well, again, and here's where I'm going with this. With every AAA title release and everything like that, after it comes out, you hear the aftermath.
Right.
All right. You hear about fucking producers being burnt out, fucking homes being broken, divorces.
True.
Marriages gone to shit and everything. And this is my speculation. I could be 100% wrong about this. But what if Rockstar finally looked at this fucking model that everybody was doing and killing their fucking developers and everything? They're like, you know what? Fuck it.
Just maintenance mode.
No, maintenance mode. And you know what? We're gonna take the slow way out of this, and we're gonna make everything, and we're gonna take our time with it.
Yeah.
And then when we're ready, we could release it. And the thing is that they control that because people are still happy with GTA Online and everything.
Yeah.
They're like, you know what? Fuck it, let it ride. And then when GTA 6 jumps out, holy shit, dude!
Yeah.
That same people, they're like, what? Here's more of our money.
Right.
I think that, and again, that's why I said at the beginning, I think that Rockstar is just playing the tortoise versus the hare, the slow and steady type shit. They're not going to burn out their staff. Everybody's taking their time with it. And the great thing is that there might not be any day one issues.
True.
Like, they're all just taking their time with it. No one's being rushed about a fucking deadline or anything like that. Roll with it.
And honestly, I was really surprised they didn't drop even a hint about 6.
Yeah.
Like the fact
But
is,
every day you hear rumors, like almost every
but
like
the
month
thing
or something.
is, here's the thing. Like they featured so many different titles in this review.
Yeah.
From what I could tell are indie titles to triple A's, even to like an off cuff like a furry game or something. Which I was like, props to y'all for
Bring it.
for pushing that. Well, hey, to each their own.
No kink
I'm
shaming
glad
here.
everybody.
No kink shaming. No kink shaming.
I'm a big proprietor that everybody should be able to game.
Whatever twirls your beanie.
And if they're
BYOLB.
if they're like
Bring your own litter
catering
box.
to a group, that's cool. But my thing is, like, you should at least mention something. Like, even if it was just the fucking logo.
But again, this is Rockstar controlling their narrative. This is them controlling their pace. You know what? When we're ready, we'll drop something. Right. And honestly, and again, this could be totally speculative. This is just an assumption as of right now. But the thing is, dude, if they did anything remotely close to that, dude, it would be fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Because how many of us are burnt out on fucking Call of Duty? Call of Duty was cool, fucking 8 years ago?
Oh, bro, I never was even on that
exactly.
train.
Like, to me, it was just the campaign mode. And then the last Black Ops 4 came out, and it didn't even have a fucking campaign mode. So I was like, all right, well, I'm out this fucking
And
boat.
hell, they were supposed to apparently go to space a long time ago, too.
They did. They went to space, I think,
Did
twice.
they?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think they went to space twice.
See, that's not,
Just like Jason.
One thing about Call of Duty, by the way, World War II is the free game for PSN right now. They have a prop hunt mode. It's the most fun I've had in Call of Duty
Really?
in a long time. Because you take turns as hide and seek. One mode, you're literally like an item that you would find in a map, like a stool, a chair, whatever.
Yeah.
And you would just hide. You hide in plain sight while the other people try to hunt you down. It's hide and seek.
That's nuts.
It's so fucking fun.
So, and you look that eventually Call of Duty was so massive and had this huge following that Activision fucking split two houses. They're like, all right, you guys throw this one out every year, you guys throw the other one out every year.
Yeah.
And that's cool and all, but everybody got tired of that fucking because we're gonna make it immersive and it's gonna be a real world first person shooter and all this other shit. No, you know what it turned out to be? It turned out to be a rail shooter at the end.
Yeah.
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 Because
I can agree with that.
And
see, here's the thing, though. I will give them credit because when they first came out, they had their direct competition, which was Medal of Honor. Me and Chuck were talking about this. They destroyed Medal of Honor.
And they did. No, and then Medal of Honor got fucking washed.
Yeah.
I mean, the first one was great, but then no one knew what the fuck they were doing in the second one. And I was hyped for the second one. And then I tried it. I was like, oh no,
What is this?
What the fuck? And
Plus,
then
they actually did a co-op campaign, which Call of Duty needs to get on.
and then
I
what's
played Battle of Honor even.
Well,
I was
it-
like, fuck yeah, this is awesome.
yeah, the first one, right?
The
Yeah.
first one. But then the second one, like you said, it was like, what the
So,
fuck?
but then no, and then EA, and I remember that EA tried something stupid because at one point they just kind of gave up on the whole war thing,
Right.
And then they did what was it? It was called Breakaway or some shit like that, where it was cops and robbers. Real fucking nice timing with everything that's going on now. Like
Right.
looking back on that shit,
Making
but
a
Brilliant.
Payday?
no, it was I don't know if it was
Payday's
Payday.
not. No,
Oh, that's not-
Payday's
but-
independent.
But no, it was something where like
they're more
they were
Valve.
like, oh yeah, you can have police chases and anything. I was like, motherfuckers, I've driven your cars on Battlefield. This shit is not
Yeah.
gonna work.
This is not GTA.
Yeah, no,
No.
not even, dude. Like, even GT, like, you're not gonna have the fucking like, oh yeah, you can like they see you do fast getaway in a fucking sports car. I was like, that fucking sports car is gonna be 5 feet away from a tree, and it's gonna hit that tree, and those are your fucking physics. Yeah,
Right.
suck a dick, like.
Giant hitboxes on fucking trees and poles.
And honestly, that like, and then they gave up on that, and then that's when they came out with their like, oh, the First World War, which the story was good. I will give them that, but even then, that lost its luster too.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand, like, I can get it, like, they don't want to, I guess, in a sense, almost oversaturate themselves, but at the same time, it feels like you want to start, you need to get to a point, let me get another, you need to get to a point where you're actually presenting something new in that particular situation. I don't know. I feel like it was a misstep. Everything else went good, though. Like, me personally, I'm excited just for their titles in general, because again, Ratchet and Clank looked fucking amazing. Like, I thought I was watching a goddamn Pixar movie. I promise you. I was sitting there like, yo, what the fuck? And then they got this other one called Kenna. I think that was the name. And it's she's like I don't know, like an earthy type chick, but like it's like it looks like it's almost like a mix with like
shave, right?
No, I don't know about that, but it looks like a mix of like
This is
Zelda,
in Portland.
Zelda and Pinkman. Like Pinkman had the little things that followed him around and everything. So this chick, like she like fights like shadow beasts or some shit. I don't fucking know, but it looks absolutely amazing. Like absolutely amazing. I definitely recommend checking that out for sure, bro. Like, and fucking Resident Evil 8 looks amazing as long as they don't stick to the whole first person, because we have enough first person. Like, they have a niche and they need to stick to it.
And that's but
you don't see Smash Brothers doing a whole 3D fucking fighting ring.
And I don't think I'd
Side,
be sold on
you know?
that anyways.
Right?
like
No,
that.
hell no. I mean, look how well Mortal Kombat did with that 3D venture where they
Look
did
what fucking
sidestepping. And,
Capcom tried to do that shit, and I'm surprised that they got 3 titles out of it. But even then, they were lame as fuck.
right. But yeah, so and the last news article I want to get into before we get into these reviews, and we'll probably have to keep this as short as possible. It's going to be hard. That's what she said.
Nice.
I like how that transition. Nice, because we know the man for that's what she said jokes all day. Fucking Steve Carell, Space Force. So I haven't got through the whole show yet, but mainly so there was an article that popped up either it was this week or last week where the trademark rights for the name Space Force got took up by the production company, and the government now is pretty much in a tight spot because they got beat to a trademark by a fucking production company.
By a show on Netflix.
By a show in basically making fun of them. They bring up a lot of good points so far of the first 4 episodes I've seen. It's very tongue-in-cheek. Also very dry. You got to catch a lot of things they say. If
You know
not,
what's
it's not as
funny though, and even for some people that are military minded or have an idea of what's going on with the military, the fact that Steve Carell, or the guy that he portrays on there, he's an ace F-35 pilot. The F-35 has been the biggest shit show this government has thrown out like as a fighter. Just imagine, okay, so for everybody that's kind of a layman on this, imagine that the government said, okay, we can build you guys the best airplane. And then fucking the Marines said that they want a Porsche. The Air Force say that they want a Lamborghini. And then the Navy says that they want a Ferrari.
You get a Daewoo.
No, worse. You get basically Lockheed Martin made a fucking minivan. That's what they did. All right. And then and then that's what the F-35 was.
Yeah.
It is at this point.
Shout out to Pineapple Express, Daewoo.
Bitch, you got crushed by Daewoo. But
don't even think they sell those over here anymore.
I don't think so. I think they got discontinued. I think
They got bought out by Chevrolet, I think. All right, but no, going back to the point, and the F-35 basically, it's even grounded its own pilots. It's basically, and it's because of dumbass details. Basically, like the F-35 is the Space Force of American fighters.
That's hilarious.
Okay, because of a minor detail, it was something like the fluid or the oscillator that they were using on one of the shocks for the front landing gear wasn't working right on the naval variant, on the carrier base variant, and because of that, when it would take off, it would do this fucking lowrider motion. And because of the helmet, because the helmet weighs like 30 pounds on the fucking poor pilot.
you got a neck problem, bro.
Bro, it literally gave something like 4 pilots whiplash.
Holy
and it
shit,
permanently grounded them. Like their flight clearance, like they can never fly for the military because
That's
it fucked up their
fucking
neck.
That's what happens when you go with the lowest bidder.
Dude, and exactly, that's literally what happened. And it was dude, it's a fucking joke. This and it reflects and
Right.
going back and,
And
yes,
that's
and then Steve
literally-
Carell's an ace F-35
Yo.
pilot. And I was like,
And the fact that he says that he
Yeah,
always goes back to it,
yeah.
hilarious. But yeah, they actually got the trademarks before the government did,
And it's
So,
hilarious.
I recommend y'all keep an eye out because that should be some comedy gold in itself. In
Dude,
the
like
future.
literally, it could be part of like the whole fucking.
I feel like
show.
it's going to show up in season 2.
Oh yeah, without a doubt,
has
dude.
to.
Like
I
without
feel
a
like
doubt.
it'll show up in
You
season.
gotta play that.
If they get a second season, because apparently the reviews aren't too good, allegedly.
Ooh.
I haven't
No.
heard great
Okay.
things.
Yeah.
The only thing.
I've heard
Yeah,
bad
though.
things as well. Actually,
No. Okay. So the only negative things I've heard about the reviews
For Space Force.
for Space Force is that it's hitting too close to the nose. That's what I keep hearing. Because dude, literally everything that has happened within the last like 3 years of this shithole of administration, it's happened. They show it there.
Yeah.
Like even in a microscopic sense or in a big sense. Like
Yeah.
I've seen it. I was like, oh yeah, that's when this happened. Oh yeah, that's when that happened. I was
Right.
like, holy shit! Like
I mean, just the intro episode, just a pilot episode, where he's like, "I'll wait for him to I'll wait for him to tweet." I'm like, "Yo,
yep.
I'm fucking. This is great."
Yep.
So I don't know. I think it's gonna be a hilarious development.
It is
I
for
just,
sure.
It just kind of shows you how things are.
Well,
in the
so-
world. Like your team's like, we're so focused on the idea that we're not even putting the fucking foundation out.
Here's
We're
what's
just gonna
funny.
start building.
Here's what's funny. Okay, so basically, the government has already shot itself in the foot on this. All right, I don't know if you guys recall, but like maybe around 5 to 8 years ago, there was a lot of stuff that was coming out branded with the Marines. So, like, you saw shirts that had the branding
Right,
on it.
yeah.
Or, like, even my mom, she got me some sweats that said U.S. Marines on it or anything like that. Well, eventually the Department of the Navy got wind of this, and they're like, no, you guys can't do that. They're like, wow, you guys never trademarked it. And they actually went to court, and the court president says, oh, well, the Marines have been around longer than the country. The country was founded in 1776. Their first operations were in 1775. So, the Marines have
Can I get
been...
a more you know? Can I get a more you know? I feel like there's a more you know.
Way too late. Way too late.
So the Department of Navy's argument was, well, we had it first. We said, like, we branded this shit first, so it's ours. And literally, if the government tries to go back now and tries to go after this trademark, all Netflix has to do, oh, well, let me show you the case of the United States of Marines, the Department of Secretary versus whoever that defendant was. And they're like, ruling in favor of Netflix, and then that's it, dude.
That's hilarious.
Dude, and it's funny because Space Force hasn't done shit right
No.
now. And literally, like, oh yeah, they rolled out some uniforms, like they rolled out like their combat uniforms and
That
shit.
fucking part too.
And no, they literally like my fucking Mr. in the closet, our closeted vice president. He literally went out and like showed like what the Space Force uniform was going to look like, and with all that shit, no one
stop and be like, yo, we should do trademarks.
trademarks.
Yeah.
Anybody? Nope.
Fucking hilarious,
Dude, but literally, in a nutshell, Space Force is Michael Scott given control over a military
He is
branch.
basically like, yo,
That is,
wait,
dude.
you're telling me I can be Michael Scarn all day, every day?
Dude, it's
done.
Dude, it's literally
sold.
it is. Well, it's Michael Scott because you see some of the freakouts,
Right.
And dude, literally, that's what it is.
Is
and
it
I
on
was,
Netflix?
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
and I was sold
Pretty
on that,
solid.
dude. I was like, okay, yeah, it's Michael Scottish, but fuck this, dude. This
Right.
is too fucking delicious. I'm rolling with it.
He distanced himself enough character wise, so where you're like, yeah, he's got Michael Scott tendencies, but he is definitely his own character.
So
which I'll give him mad credit on.
Here's the only thing I could say. All right, it's basically if Michael Scott had gone to the military.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Because literally, you see in the trailer, you even see it where like he's finally awarded a 4-star general type shit. Whatever. 4-star generals are usually chiefs of their branches. So basically, like. If you're a 4-star general, you're chief of Navy or chief of Army, chief of Air Force, whatever. But he gets awarded, and he's like, oh, I'm going to knock this other motherfucker out.
Yeah.
And then you hear the Secretary of Defense, he's like, oh, yeah, so POTUS wants a new branch to open. It's going to be focused on Space Force. And literally when he does the snort, and then he's like, oh, and that'll be you what? That was all Michael Scott right there. The snort and then the what?
Yes.
Michael Scott. Perfect.
Perfect. All right, Serge, go ahead and play my music for me real quick.
Play my music.
I'm going to do a real hot one, a little quick one. Some of y'all, my gamers who go back know this joint that's about to play real quick here. I'm going to let this come in. This is to all my real gamers
And Bo's coming.
who grew up in the 90s.
What does it sound like, Super Metroid?
Oh, it's Super. It's from the Super Nintendo. You got the system.
Super Ghosts and Ghouls?
Nope.
It's not brooding enough to be. Super
You might know it, though, because I think you said you played through it once.
No, I actually played through it. I played parts of it at the beginning.
Parts of it, but you know that's what this is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so Chuck knows what it is. That's good.
Plus, you talked about it before the
Right.
show, too.
Bro,
Fucking
it is-
Secret of Mana.
Okay.
Recently, Trials of Mana dropped, which is a very solid pickup. I'm just going to do a very quick run-in-out review. Solid game, solid soundtrack. The combat mechanics are fun. It is a port from the original Super Nintendo sequel to Secret of Mana. God, this music is beautiful.
The way it kicked in right
I
now.
know,
Just
right?
like we're talking about it.
Square Enix, right?
Yeah, Square Enix.
Squaresoft.
This was back when it was just still Squaresoft.
Right.
Squaresoft.
But they re-released this and remastered it as its own brand new game, and still the same story characters. And I tell you, it's a wonderful playthrough. Definitely super anime. If you love anime, you'll love the game and the style, the artwork. The music is good. I highly recommend picking up if you enjoyed any of the Mana entries, whether it's Secret or Sword or there was a PlayStation one I can't think of right now. But if you enjoyed any Mana, pick it up. Do yourself that favor.
They play kind of like Final Fantasy, except it's not turn-based.
Right,
It's more
exactly.
action
It's straight up
RPG.
action.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Right.
yeah.
No
Me and Serge
shit. Okay.
fucking knocked out the Super Nintendo one way back when it first came out back in the day.
Right on, right on.
One of the first RPGs to actually have like multiplayer.
Yeah, that's true.
So, but definitely a great game. Check it out. So we're gonna get these fucking reviews. I'm excited. Let's give a round of applause for these reviews real quick because these are some solid picks.
It's a good mixture. Of
Some
things.
good conversation. Very topical. We're gonna get into the very first one. We're gonna start with District 9 because the shows I think might go a little further. But you selected District 9,
did.
so take it away.
All right. So District 9 is about a alien race that just from one day to another appears over Johannesburg. And you have the story of this guy named Wickus, who's basically a pencil pusher that has to relocate these people or these alien beings from one area of Johannesburg away to another settlement. It speaks to the sense of refugees, racism, xenophobia, what else? Bigotry. There's also a funny religious aspect to it that some people slept on. Or I don't know if they did or not. And it also highlights how, I guess, the hypocrisy of humans, you know? Needless to say, during this eviction, he gets exposed to some fluid and basically starts to develop these abilities that
Well,
only
not
the
that, he's
aliens
just actually
He starts
turning.
being-
Yeah.
He starts evolving.
I think
with
there's
the
a lot
DNA.
to that. There's probably like something.
Oh yeah, there.
I'll talk about
Oh
it,
yeah,
But-
that itself. Yeah, no. As
I got a
as
theory.
yeah, I will say
that
really quickly. For those that just joined or maybe joining, District 9 review. The aliens look like giant shrimps.
aka why they're called
Prawns.
prawns.
Scramples.
Which is probably derogatory, but they don't quite get to that.
They said
In the
they did.
beginning,
No,
they're
they did.
like-
They do
yeah,
say
yeah.
it because
Yeah,
they're
they did.
like, oh yeah, because they're bottom feeders or whatever, you know. So
Right. Like, because people were saying, oh, well, they look like prawns, but it was also more of a dig at, like you
Yeah.
said, bottom feeders.
Interestingly enough, you see where I guess humanity's evil comes from, because MNU at any time or any given place, they could have tried to find the dropship.
Right.
And literally the reason that they were held there for so long is because they kept trying to figure out how to use their own weapons. That's literally what it was, you know. Also, you never actually see that they're helping them try to get home.
Right.
You see them that they're trying to be relocated or contained, but you never actually see that they sent anybody in there to go look for this thing.
Didn't Chris? Oh, I'm sorry to interject, but didn't Christopher purposefully hide the dropship? Like,
correct,
underneath?
yeah, but even with all the dialogue, that you said, like that they said, basically the sociologist or the journalist or anything, no one really says is like, how can we help you get home?
Right.
It was never said. It was never mentioned.
Exactly.
Like they said, they had the engineer said, "Oh, well, we looked for that fucking dropship everywhere. We couldn't find it." La da 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 da. But no one really actually went and communicated to them. How can we help you get home?
I think Christopher was purposely hiding it though,
and that's
in case
fine.
they took it like
But
they did the weapons.
I think
But they would've
honestly,
confiscated it, probably.
I think
Yeah.
I think initially it wasn't. Like initially, he probably was like whatever, but then eventually he saw how things were going. And like
How the
'cause
humans
they
were
were
I
there.
taking
have a
it.
theory that Christopher
They were there
was
for
actually
20
in that when
years.
it fell, and
What's
he's
that?
actually. There's probably like different tiers, and there's different levels. They're probably like all the prawns around him are like worker prawns.
Well, they
That's
said
why
that they were all workers.
Well, you can
Yeah,
kind of see
but
the
I'm
difference
saying-
in intelligence levels too.
Exactly,
between
the
prawns,
intelligence
too.
is the difference.
Yeah.
So like,
Now-
But
Christopher-
also keep in mind, there's a 20-year
yeah,
Yeah, 'cause
time
the first
frame from
clip
when
showed,
he
like,
shows
82.
up
yeah.
to when the movie
Because
is
the sun,
basically
because
going
the
on.
sun grew up on Earth, like
and the
his
son's
little-
intelligent too.
Yeah, but even that. So, but going back to, basically, he wisened up to the fact that, like, again, they're there for the weapons. That was
Right.
it. So he hid it for that reason. But again, MNU, which was like the company in charge of all this, they never openly said, "Hey, what can we do to help you guys get home?" It was never
Right.
mentioned, and that's because their goal was to find the weapons. You know, my favorite. First of all, we also
wait.
got to talk.
Did the other prawns speak English?
No, none of them did.
Well,
Yeah,
but
Only Christopher can really
no,
understand it, right?
Well, he can understand it, but
Yeah.
everybody else was able to communicate to
Yeah.
some basic form.
Yeah.
Like,
over time, I'd imagine.
Yeah, but
Right,
no,
yeah.
like because when the other ones went to sell the mech armor, like you saw the
yeah.
one that's armed, he's like, "What are you stopping me
10,000,
for?" Yeah, he's
yeah.
like, "What are you stopping me for?"
Yeah.
he literally says that. So it's that there's some that are intelligent.
Well, because again, 20 years.
Yeah. We also got to talk about how fucking underrated Charlito Copley is.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
I mean, yeah.
I mean, to me, he just. I mean,
I thought it was great.
Yeah, no. Well, not only that, dude, but like he just kind of leans into every role he's got.
I don't know him by name. Was that Wickus?
Yeah, Wicked.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Wickus, dude. I thought.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I thought he was incredible. Yeah.
Well, even then, but like, and this is gonna be a hot take, but to me, one of like, he even looks like he had fun with that role.
Oh, yeah.
Was in the A Team when he was playing Mad
Oh,
Dog,
yeah,
dude.
yeah.
He played Mad Dog, and he looked like he loved every
You know
fucking
what?
minute
You
of
know
it.
what he was great in was Hardcore Henry.
Yeah,
Have
he
you ever
was.
seen it?
He was.
yeah,
He was in
that's
that one
right.
too. And the thing is that you just see that he has
He's
like
underrated
this.
as fuck.
Yes, he is, dude.
Yeah.
Because he has like this. He just leans
So
into the
you're
character.
saying that the main dude from District 9, the Wickus,
Yeah.
hold on, wait. I didn't realize he was in other shit.
Get
That's
out,
the thing, bro.
Get
Like,
the
bro,
fuck out.
no,
Get
he's-
the fuck
well, you
out.
gotta watch
Taking of your show.
Well, it's like the A Team wasn't necessarily a huge thing.
It wasn't a huge
Yeah.
thing,
Well,
but
that
like,
and they pushed fucking Cooper, right? Cooper was in that?
what? Yeah, Bradley
the
Cooper.
A-Team?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
They pushed
and
him.
Liam Neeson's.
Right, they pushed those guys
Oh no, but
versus
dude, no,
the
I'm
rest
sorry.
of the
Like
cast.
if you watch that dude, like to me,
That was
no,
a long
Mad Dog,
time ago, too.
Mad Dog fucking stole the show, and it was him, dude, because it's like you see him, he's like, oh, I gotta make sure this bird is ready, and he's hanging off the fucking helicopter rotor singing, "You spin me right round me," and shit
that.
like that, dude. And they're like, wait, what the fuck? This is our pilot, like shit like that, dude. He just leaned into it and he made it fun. And then Hardcore Henry.
That first 10 minutes with his character, I gotta admit, you watch it and you kind of. Are we good? Are we good?
That's in here. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Okay.
So like, what was I saying? Oh, the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
When you're watching him, like you say, he's like a pencil pusher.
Yeah.
Right.
And he
he's
tries
with
to-
all the bureaucrats
yeah.
and shit, and he's like, the academics, and they're trying to figure out like what exactly to do, and he
Yeah.
thinks he's doing the right thing at all times.
Right.
Yeah.
But he's really just oppressing the fuck
Shit,
out of
even
it.
even far up
Yeah.
until like where he's hiding out there, he still has that mindset.
Yeah.
But they even say, like, when he tells his buddy, what does he say? He says something like, be nice but affirmative.
Yeah.
When you talk to him.
Be
something
nice
like
but
that.
firm, yeah.
But firm.
Yeah.
Affirmative, yeah. But be nice but firm. And, I feel like he just takes everything he's told, and he's like one of those people that like follows it.
He's
to
a
the
company
letter.
man.
Yeah,
He's a company
yeah,
man. Yeah,
exactly.
You know?
And like, so at first, I'll be honest, like I did not like I like rewatching it. I thought it was good back in the day. Now I think it's great.
Yeah.
Oh.
But back in the day, I actually thought it was like I thought it was above average like sci-fi thing.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, man. On rewatch, it's like because his character arc is so great.
It is,
Yeah.
dude, because it's literally like, oh, he's up here, he gets dragged through the mud, and he's like, okay, because
and he even turns on him again.
yeah.
And then like comes back to redemption.
Even
like,
then, dude. Like I remember when he's like, when they bring him into like the level 4 site he's like, what the fuck are you guys doing here? And like he literally sees that all his work
yeah.
was like just a big fucking like cover
Powerful
up.
moment with Christopher too.
Yeah,
Down the
no,
lab.
well, not that one. Not,
Yeah,
but it's the first time that he goes to that lab for whatever.
Yeah, when
And
he wakes up and he got him strapped.
I love
to
both
the
of their
fucking
initial
gurney.
responses,
and then
yeah.
he's like, he's begging not to shoot the prawn. He's like, look,
Yeah.
I'll shoot the fucking pig, but don't make me. He didn't do anything. Eventually, that's when it hits him that all this fucking company, like the company he worked for and everything, is like, he's like, I fucked up. This
Yeah.
is what they're doing. Like,
I'll say this too. I think that like the movie does a good job of like it doesn't. I don't think it like excuses the human behavior, but it does make you go because they're aliens, because they have all this weaponry. It's like were they maybe trying to use that against us and something
Right.
went wrong?
It's human
And then-
nature.
and also like I think we would be doing something wrong if we didn't try to study the
Yeah.
fucking weaponry that they had.
Of course.
Like
well,
so,
okay, but for
not
mutual
shooting-
defense,
huh?
for defense, yes.
No, I mean just understanding what the fuck they're doing, and
True.
like what the reason they shoot the prawn is to see if it actually kills them, not to
Right.
see like not to be mean. I mean, it is mean.
It is
It's
mean.
not
No,
something you should do.
absolutely.
Not something you should do at all. But it's like, but there's a reason behind everything, which reminds you of Nazi Germany.
Right.
There's
Well,
always
yeah.
like a reason that people do these
And
things
so-
that like lead you to these dark paths.
Well, okay,
you know what I'm saying?
so okay, so you bring up a good response to that, but the thing is that you actually see in the footage, like when they were building up to like Wickus coming on and everything, that you see that the prawns are actually using the weapons. They may not be using them against each other, but they're using it against us.
Right.
And in turn, like when we can fucking hit them with like our weapons and they go down, that shows that hey, this is kind of
they're
like a
way
two-way
stronger
street.
in this period. They could-
Precisely, yeah, no, because no,
Look, dude, when he fucking grabs his arm and kicks him back, and the arm comes
Yo.
out,
dude, no, when,
that was
when,
visceral shit.
dude.
You're like,
when
"Damn,
when the other guys fucking Sparta kicked him and his head flew off.
Yes.
Like literally, you see someone picking up the head by
A
the helmet,
bag.
and then
a trash bag.
but no. So where was I? The weaponry, and he begs not to use it.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing. Now, and you said, okay, well, were they trying to use a weaponry on
Cattle
us?
prodding him the
Dude,
whole time.
well, no.
Yeah.
When he said
They
when
get him in the
you
spot.
asked
Fucked up.
about like, oh, well, were they going to use the weaponry on us? Dude, they would have used it by the get go. Like once we
Right.
dude, because
20 years have been gone by.
That armor mech, dude, that shit could fuck things up.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then they're like, no, like,
Such a badass scene, by the way.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
So you see, it definitely highlights the more negative aspects of what we do, you know, because literally we try to turn this into, well, initially it was a humanitarian thing.
Right.
And even the sociologist says, no, but ultimately they wanted the weapons.
Right.
They were trying to figure
Exactly.
out the weapons, you know, like everybody wanted the weapons. And it's kind of fucked up that, you know, they have this technology to traverse fucking galaxies and what
That's
we want.
what they were focused on, right?
They were just trying to go home, and what we were trying to focus on was like, yo, how can we get the one up on our own people?
Or was
Exactly.
that a shot against the military-industrial complex?
Without a doubt.
Easily.
Absolutely.
Easily.
You know, absolutely.
Well, I mean, the scene
'Cause
itself
MNU is
where
pretty much Lockheed Martin or Raytheon or one of those.
Right.
yeah, and basically this is the perfect. So
just like
MNU
the-
was, you know what MNU was? It was like the South African Halliburton. That's what it could have been.
Oh yeah, it's like
the oil,
it's
yeah.
pure allegory.
well, that I mean,
it's a huge
the
allegory for apartheid too. And
the scene where he comes to and he's in the facility and they're basically like discussing like, well, do we fucking do it? Do we do it? And the guy's like, yeah, fuck it. Like,
And this is his father-in-law.
That- right.
That was
Yeah.
his father-in-law.
and the thing is, his father-in-law was pushing it.
Yeah.
It was the other guy that was there was kind of had to think about it. Like, well, sure, fine, why not?
Yeah.
His fucking father-in-law was the one like, nah, we're gonna
He was
trust
ready to
me.
sign off on it
He already
immediately.
had the story in his head.
Yeah, he's like, I'll take care of what
and
I'm
that
gonna tell
shit,
daughter. Yeah.
the fucking propaganda they put on his ass.
Oh, that was a smear campaign. By
Oh
God.
yeah.
that's another apartheid reference. 'cause
That
it
shit
is.
was slightly
Yeah.
funny, but also fucked up.
Yep.
Yeah, you felt
They
bad
used
for
to-
Wickus.
yeah.
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 So, what is your favorite scene?
My favorite scene, damn.
That's a tough question.
It is.
Holy shit! Wait.
I had to think about this the entire time Jofer was talking.
Dude, I still like. For me, it's tough, but
I think I know, but
Right.
it's still tough.
I would have to say the mech mode, dude. I mean,
Okay.
the
Pretty
mech
badass.
dude, the
Yeah.
mech scene, dude. He just gets into shit wrecking mode. He's like,
Dude, when he grabs the fucking, it's
what-
about to hit the
yeah,
shit.
the
going
fucking
up.
Yo.
the RPG. He just
Yeah, the
grabs it out
RPG.
the ear, dude. And
You're
I
like,
think,
fuck, dude.
yeah, I mean, it's shit wrecking mode. But then eventually he realizes he's like, Christopher James or whatever. He's my only chance of ever regaining my humanity.
right.
And he says, look, I'm
In
like,
more ways than one, too.
yeah, no, it literally, figuratively,
Yeah.
spiritually, emotionally,
Exactly.
whatever the fuck you want to call it, it's there.
That was his redemption.
It is there. And then he tells them, don't make me do this. Don't make me.
Don't
Yes.
make me wait because I might change my mind.
No, no.
that don't make me waste.
Yeah, don't make me waste. Like he says,
Oh.
I'm already gone. Like this is what's going to happen to me.
yeah.
He's like, go, and he tells him, go home with your boy. That's what it is. You know, and it's funny because you see this arc and like what you were talking about it because he turns from this idyllic, white picket fence type shit, you know,
Happy
literally.
because they find weapons.
No,
It's true, though.
literally, like
Yeah.
in the first 30 minutes, that's what
By
it
the
was.
way, he sleeps his way up because he's with what's his name?
Yeah, no, literally.
Yeah, yeah.
And
That's
there's
what the
a
guy-
sense of nepotism there for sure. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, and no, but they genuinely do
He's
love
kind
each
of
other.
a complete piece
Right.
of shit.
Yeah,
he does.
No,
but
he does love
but
her.
at
and
first, you know, she's hot though. It's
yeah,
easy. You're like,
dude. I mean, shout out to him.
He did love her, though.
Dude,
It
no,
wasn't like
shout
he
out to
did it
him.
just for his career.
Yeah, no, shout out to him because he genuinely did love this girl. She was hot. He came into money both literally and figuratively. And then like, you know, he was happy with his life.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, well, I have to do this. Whatever. I'll take care of it. And you see that arc, like, and then you see him like treating these people like, oh, like crap almost. He's like,
Yeah.
because it was all diplomatic because the cameras were there. That's what he was saying. When he was training his new guy or whatever. And then once shit started to hit the fan, even he still couldn't accept it because then the little kid, he's like, "Oh, you're just like me." He's like, "Fuck you! I'll never be the same. I'll never be the same as you. We are not the same." And then to see like, okay, he fucking finally comes to terms. This is what's gonna happen. It might have to wait 3 years for it, but like, go. He's like, finally he accepts. He's like, I don't care if I'm not the same as you. Like, this is bigger than you and I. Go home, find your
He's
people,
literally-
rescue people.
literally turning into one of them. And what was I about to say? Yeah, like he's still calling him a prawn and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
No,
right.
like,
And it's
no,
like-
because the kid saw the arm and he's like, "Oh, you're
Yeah.
turning into." He's like, "Fuck you! I'll
You're-
never be
you're one
like."
of us.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like, and he's like, "No, fuck
You're
you.
just
We're
like
never."
us.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
"I'll never be like you" or whatever. He literally tells him that.
I
and
have a
he's like,
theory that they might all be human, but they turned.
I don't know about all, but yeah,
Maybe
I
not
think
that.
there's a
Maybe.
chunk
I
of
mean,
them.
it can
There's a
make
lot of
sense.
weird stuff that could be going on with
Right.
this thing.
So what's your
Like,
score?
you know.
My score is gonna be a 9-7, and
9-7.
here's the whole thing. Neil Blomkamp, if you ever watch this fucking episode, we need a fucking sequel, homie. We need that shit.
We need you to
10.
really do the
Ooh,
Halo
wait,
movie.
no,
Like, a real
well,
Halo.
actually-
no, dude. I'm sorry.
It's funny you said that. Hold up.
'Cause
It's
it's supposed
funny
to
you
be
said
Halo
that shit
originally.
because
That was the next thing he was gonna do.
that mech scene. That's all I heard when he jumped in that bitch.
Yeah.
I heard.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Yo, I want somebody. I feel like that's already out there, but if it hasn't been done, somebody needs to do that shit. Take the Halo fucking theme, take the mech scene from District 9, and have yourself a
But-
field day with that
I broke
shit.
the seal. I broke the seal. I'm sorry.
Chuckles, I'm
It's okay.
sorry, bro.
Well, he's
Like,
Chuckles is up next.
No,
Yeah.
well, Chuckles, I'm sorry, dude. This takes precedence over Halo. Like, I saw that movie again, dude, and I need that fucking, like, I need this to come. I do, dude, because, like, honestly,
I don't know,
Neil...
man. I think it's kind of better one off as it is.
Yeah.
No, I need to see this through, man. Like, I want to see what happens to the prawns. It's even though fucked up. I want to see what happens to Christopher. I want to see what happens to Wick. Is like,
Well, if anything, it should be like a 1.5, not a quite sequel, but
Yeah.
kind of like what happened in between,
yeah,
Right.
up to right after, instead of a full fledged sequel that happened right after.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because I mean, it would be interesting to see if they decided to come back or not. you
I
know?
mean, dude,
Yeah.
he said no because honestly, so looking
even on the way out, Christopher was yelling like 3 years. you
Yeah,
know?
no. He told him come with us. He's
Yeah.
like, no, I got to get you. And he says it. Like the thing is, dude, is that, and here's what's fucked up. And this again shows the whole humanity versus prawns thing. All right, the prawns were deceived. They were manipulated. They were lied to by everybody.
Right.
By MNU, by the United Nations, by the Nigerians. But you never see.
Fucked up. Man.
Yeah,
It fucking cracked me up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah,
And-
they got theirs.
And here's my thing, dude. You never saw that a prawn was ever deceitful or honest or dishonest.
True.
Never.
They may have hid things, but yeah, true.
They hid things, but it's only because. But they never implicitly like lied to someone about
Right.
it. like Christopher, he said he had to do what he had to do, and he's right, because Wick, he knew how fucked up Wickus was. Yeah. Because even as he's trying to get into the ship, what does the Wickus do? Already he's like fucking turning full on, and he fucking cracks him over the head.
Which is about a 72-hour period, I think.
Yeah,
72.
72. No, 72 is when he cracks him. 74 is when he's already like being dragged out of the mech.
Right. Okay.
All right. But yeah, like
that's after he's exposed to the liquid.
Yeah. Right. And that's, you see, you never saw that prawns were like inherently evil or bad.
Kind of primitive in a certain way, but never deceitful.
Yeah, like because he's like, well, they were talking about like, the way that they play was too rough because they derailed their train or something like that. No one actually talked to them and said, look, this is not what we do here.
Right.
And it was always met with like aggression or, or anger, Never, like, you never actually saw them try to reason, you know?
True.
So.
All right. Well, Chuck, you're up next, sir.
Please lay it on us, Chuck.
So I remember watching this when it came out in DVD, which was like 2009, I think.
Yeah. It's 11 years old, yeah.
And rewatching it now, I like it more now.
Yep.
Because it definitely, I think, like, that's definitely what, not too far off as far we would treat the aliens if they were to come now. That's really not far off from, like, the
absolutely.
truth.
Yeah.
We would absolutely look for their technology. We would reverse engineer it.
And weaponize it.
Especially the weapons. Weaponize it.
Roswell. Sorry.
51.
I don't know. We would definitely put them in internment camps.
Yeah.
We would treat them like, low class citizens.
Not even citizens, because they could make the argument. Oh well, they're not citizens of the world or of the planet.
Right.
I could see some fucking talking head on Fox News literally making that argument.
Right.
That's any news station.
They're not from America, so they're not American.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about this movie is it takes place in Johannesburg, which tells you that racism is a worldwide problem.
Exactly.
It is. Oh yeah, it definitely exposes
and always has
xenophobia, bigotry. All
the xenophobia, because they kept calling him dumb and shit, dude. And you see that like even the kid was able to operate this advanced technology. He's the one that fucking got the ship activated, moved, and fucking beamed up. Yeah. No one else did.
He pretty much saved the day.
But even so, like even with the kid, is a good example of. You have the intelligent ones, and you have the other ones that aren't quite as intelligent.
Yeah. Right.
Because you have the ones that's willing to sign off on the eviction notice for a can of cat
ones that were like, nah, bro, I ain't signing shit.
Oh, the cat food bit, by the way, is like the most awesome little world-building detail.
It's so fucking funny.
Dude, and
it's like, what the fuck? Like,
Neil
it's so
Blomkamp,
random that it makes sense. Like,
Neil Blomkamp is a fucking genius. I would love... All right, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Chalk, but...
we all did just there. I'm sorry.
A dream sci-fi collabo would be like some space sci-fi shit with Neil and fucking... Oh my god, why am I blanking on him? Benicio. Neil and Benicio. I want some like fucking Space War shit with Benicio.
Pan's Labyrinth.
With Benicio.
You want the U.S. Space Force?
No. No, not Pan's Labyrinth. I want Pacific Rim Benicio.
Oh, okay.
And I want fucking District 9 Neil, dude. And that shit would be fucking lit.
That'd be pretty solid too.
Right?
Yeah.
That shit would be fucking lit.
Do you think they ever like went off in space and be like, man, I kind of miss cat food?
You know?
They might.
That's why we might need a sequel.
I love the
negotiation. Case in point.
Dude,
the search for
this is how much
food.
I love this shit. Like, the negotiation was 10,000 cans to 100.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a huge
And they were like, fucking sold.
Dude, wait.
You got it, man. Give me the shit.
Sorry.
They're scratching.
And I'm just going to make a stupid fucking nerd joke here, but remind me. All right, so Star Trek 2 was Wrath of Khan, right?
No.
Out of my league.
Wrath of Prawn.
And then, no. District 2 would be Wrath of Prawn, and then because Star Trek 3 was the Quest for Peace,
Was it?
fucking District 9-3 would be the Quest for cat food.
I can see that. So,
The quest for Friskies.
Yeah.
I like it.
Dude, you get that. Dude,
The
you get
Quest
that.
for Meow Mix.
You get that money, man. Like, you got that. You got the.
Quest for Meow
promo
Mix.
money. But go ahead, Chuck.
As a movie being 11 years old, it still holds up pretty well.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like the CGI doesn't look cheesy or anything. It holds up well.
Agreed.
Ask me again in 10 years, it might not look quite the same.
Right.
But it looks good. Solid directing, solid CGI, cinematography. It's good storytelling.
For sure.
I like it better now than I did the first time.
It's understandable.
Quick side note too, I believe this is one of the few sci-fi movies that was nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah.
Really?
It was.
I
Oh,
didn't know
you're
that.
right. It was.
Yeah.
Yep.
This was a big
Well,
deal.
this was before
very-
the 10
This
movies.
was also right. I
Right?
think this was right after.
Or that might have been
It might have been right after. You're right.
No,
Well,
it might have
I'm
been
pretty
at.
sure
No, it might have been at.
I'm pretty sure this was right after his last Lord of the Rings too. I think.
When did
Dude, Neil
Dark Knight
Blomkamp
came out in
did that.
08, so
That was
it
Peter
is.
Peter Jackson
Jackson.
produced
Peter Jackson,
it.
yeah.
He
Okay,
produced it.
So Dark Knight came out in 08 because it was called the Dark Knight rule.
Yeah.
So they had the 10 Best Picture nominees after that. So I'm pretty sure that was the next year, 2009, right?
Yeah.
This came out? So yeah. This was the first of the, I think it was actually 9 nominees or something.
So, what was your favorite scene?
Once again, tough question for that movie.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to say when Wickus first gets to the internment camp, I'll call it District 9, and he's walking around with this clipboard, and you just see what they're dealing with.
Actually,
and what
real
they
quick,
live with.
District 9 is more a ghetto than it is a concentration camp.
Yeah, they're taking
Yeah.
him to the concentration camp.
They're going to go to a concentration
And he
camp.
literally
Right,
calls it
yeah,
a
yeah.
concentration camp.
Right.
Yeah.
He's like, it's more like a concentration camp. It's smaller than this.
Because
actually.
District 9 was more like slum/ghetto.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So,
And the Nigerian dude, that guy, we haven't talked about him yet, have we?
No.
Nah, but-
I mean, we
Dude, he was
mentioned
pretty
him.
killer.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
true.
Oh, you did? Oh, my bad. I
no,
was
let
pissed.
him.
Oh, sorry.
I just like when he's walking around and you see like the different levels of the intelligence with the prawns, and you see what they live with. You see the ones that are prostituting themselves. You see the ones that are basically
Yes.
searching through
Yeah.
junk.
Right.
You see the ones eating cat food and
Yep.
other random meat that they find.
McDonald's.
Probably. Probably. Brought to you by
It's
McDonald's.
the analogy.
Yeah, if McDonald's made it that long, though, I'm just saying. Props to them.
So
And
to
you
you, it
just-
was like that initial.
It's the initial
Oh,
introduction
shit.
to
I was looking in the wrong
District
chat. Hold
9.
up. Real quick. Shout out to L Blizzy Blaine. Shout out to
Gang, gang.
Scotty. Shout out to Bobby.
Scotty.
Shout out to Jilly. Shout out to Lance again and Jay
Lance.
and Mike. Apparently, there's 2 sections of comments. There's watch party comments and then there's fucking live video comments. So I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
damn.
So shout out to all the other people. I wasn't being mean. I just don't know how to fucking work this shit. All right, continue.
But to have this movie, a sci-fi movie, to have that much social commentary about just xenophobia, bigotry, military-industrial
Racism.
complex, all of it, and
Yeah.
just fit it in a, just under 2 hours? It's a solid movie, man.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Neil Blomkamp is fucking underrated on that end too. You know.
Yeah, I agree.
Well,
My rating, I'll probably give like 8.5.
All right.
Like, I've seen better sci-fis, but I've seen far worse,
wait,
too.
what'd you
Yeah.
rate it? I'm sorry?
8.5.
An 8? That's good.
Okay.
All right.
So you read. You're up next.
So
Let's go, B-Ra.
I know you want to go in hard, but
I'm not
let's-
going in hard.
No. I mean, like, because we got time constraints.
Oh, I got you. Okay. So long story short, rewatching it. The first time I watched it, I don't know what it was about the ending, but but there was something about it that was I don't even want to say it wasn't anticlimactic. It's a great ending looking back on it, but back when I was a kid, I did not like the ending as much as I did this time. I don't know why. The first 10 minutes of the movie, it was kind of rough for me to get back into, but once you get used to the handheld style,
Right.
and the CG, I'll be honest with you, like the way they did CG without any green screen or anything
Right.
like that,
Brilliant.
and the fact that it still like looks as
It
good as it
holds up,
does
yeah.
today, it tells you a little something, man. Like that people should probably go for that style a lot,
Dude,
more.
but it's
like it's
so
Neil Blomkamp, fucking
Thanks, fam.
and that was a budget constraint too.
Dude, that's the whole
That's
thing.
what's
So
funny about it.
Blomkamp
Okay.
did this shit like for pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
Like he shot in
What was it,
in
like
Johannesburg.
30 million or
He shot
something?
in Johannesburg because guess what? It was cheaper to shoot there. Like I want to say some of the effects were locally sourced. Like I know homie tried to cut out corners wherever he can.
Isn't he from there too?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So is
So he's got apartheid.
So is
Blomkamp
Charlito.
also-
yeah.
So is Charlito.
Blomkamp
So
said he was Canadian, I thought.
I want to say he's South African.
By the way, District 6 was an actual place, and he reversed it, and it's District 9.
Yeah, and then on top of that,
Yeah.
and then Charlito, I know for a fact that he's a South African, and then that's why if you see Neil Blomkamp, that's why he always brings him onto his movies.
Canadian, South African.
Ah, there you go. All right, so we were both right.
It's a very strange mix.
Very southern,
We were both
very
right.
northern.
Done.
I don't know. Maybe he
A
lived
boot
there for a
poet.
while, I don't know, but, or maybe he's from there, his family, but he grew up in Canada. I don't know, but anyway,
He's a boot and a poet,
he knows the whole. Like, there's a ton of apartheid references.
without a
Like,
doubt.
it's like that's the big analogy.
The thing is that I know that what Neil wanted to do is that he wanted to mix the apartheid and racism without a color barrier, and then that's what the aliens represent.
and that's what I think is so genius about it too, is that it kind of gives. It's like it's easy to attack racists for being racist because they're so fucking dumb. It's easy to be like it's dumb to just hate somebody who's black because they're black,
Yeah.
or
Right.
Spanish because they're Spanish, whatever. But like when you make them alien, it almost how do I word this, man? Like it's an easier way to like get people to understand like how insidious racism is.
Or even xenophobia, not so
Or
much
xenophobia,
racism,
yeah, that's a
xenophobia.
better way
Yeah,
to put it. But just the other. making them the other.
Well,
And-
I mean, it also goes back to the classic saying, people fear what they don't understand.
Exactly.
And that's literally what xenophobia is.
Yeah.
Like, if you can't understand something, or if it's foreign to you,
And it's much
you're-
harder to understand the culture of these alien creatures
Right.
than it is
Yeah.
to understand the culture of somebody who's Mexican or Colombian or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think it's a good way to get people not really thinking about things that they are not like. It's like a subtle way of getting people to think about racism.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not too over the like Elysium. It's not too like on the nose, and the theme's really like punching you in the
Yeah.
gut. It's like it's a way to racists could watch this movie and actually like it.
Yeah.
and then kind of maybe think about what. Oh, I'm serious. Like, I really think that.
It's
Like,
just a funny
I think it's like
statement in general,
I think
but
it's
yeah.
something. I think it's something that like could actually make them change their mind, maybe. Because it's not so over. It's not
It's
beating you
subtle,
over the head with
that's
it.
why.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
yeah,
All right.
So
No,
I'm
your
serious,
totally
man.
valid point. Is just it's just a sentence I never thought I would hear.
Right. Welcome to 2020, motherfucker.
But you want to affect change? It's like
Yeah.
I think it's a much better way of doing it than a lot of the other ways that people do.
All right. Well, what's your scene? What's your favorite scene?
Favorite scene? Fuck me.
That
So
wasn't on there.
Wrong movie.
It's the deleted
Probably
section.
like you talk about
It's behind the scenes.
you talk about practical effects mixed with CG.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like when he first sees his arm, when they reveal his arm for the first time, and he's in the little lab down
Yeah.
there, like that shit. I watch it even now. I'm like, dude, they could not recreate that better right now. Like it looks perfect.
Okay.
You know, so like to me, like that, and it's a visceral thing. You're like, holy shit! Like, what if that was me? Like, you really
Right.
like connect with it. It's like that's fucking.
Well, and the funny
crazy.
thing
They
about
test them.
that-
They test them for the pain level because they say
Yeah.
like they start poking him. It's like, oh, the
Well,
nerves are
well,
connected.
even before that, when they revealed it, like you,
Yeah,
like
when they
as
first reveal it,
when
you're
you're
like,
watching
whoa!
it, you're like, oh shit, that's right, he fucked up his arm earlier, but you didn't think it was that, you
Yeah.
know, because he was like, oh, it is kind of burning. Let's just wrap it up or whatever. He's like, I'm fine, I'm fine. And then you see what happened, why it was burning, because this shit was changing.
Yep.
Also, shout out because it took me back to motherfucking Nightmare on Elm Street 4 when she turned into the roach. That's what that shit reminded me of, like the way the shit looked.
Did she have the two eyes? Where like one
Well,
was
because
human and the other one was.
I don't know.
'Cause that was
I'm
cool.
probably the only person in this room, maybe besides Serge, who remembers that scene vividly as fuck. But she falls down face first, and when she comes up, her skin's coming off, and like a
I
fucking
haven't seen the movie in so long.
the roach fucking antlers and shit, and fucking the fucking his antennae and shit. But yeah, that's what I saw.
Antennae, not antennae.
10 eyes and 10 A's, 1080p, whatever. But
I also thought like the whole like maybe like 30 minutes in when they're really trying to get people to sign this eviction notice or these prawns to sign the eviction notice, and they're saying like they're trying to fool all of them and they can't fool
They aren't.
Christopher.
right,
And like there's something about
Prisoner's
where,
like, I'm
there's
not
so
signing
much
this
shit
shit.
that we do every day,
Yeah, it's
and we allow government to kind of
sign
just
this piece of
walk
paper
on us,
and you get
yeah.
this can of cat food.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's such like a perfect analogy for like bureaucracies and how they could like and I mean, yeah, they walk all over you, man, and they
right.
give you something,
Right.
But do they
All
really?
right,
do
and
it?
what's your
But
score?
It's all to their benefit. 8.9 out of 10.
all right, nice.
Yep.
All right,
So
Voting.
only the first 10 minutes. Like when you're first getting used to. To me, the first 10 minutes it's a little clunky for me for whatever
Okay.
reason. I want to rewatch it
I
again.
kind of like how it jumps from that
Yeah.
kind of semi-documentary style
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
the actual story,
See,
back to the documentary style. at the
That's
end.
actually my really big problem.
Really?
They're
It was a
talking
little
from the
jarring.
future, too.
Yeah, it was a little jarring.
Like I don't know what he did.
So I mean,
I
so-
like
Like
that
the
person.
way they blended it was good.
Blended it.
But it was also a
Yeah.
little jarring.
I could see people in the first 10 minutes walking out and being like, "I'm good, man."
all right. Well, and here's the whole thing. I think Blowcamp did it that way.
No, I get
well,
it.
yeah,
Yeah,
of
like-
course.
And like
he
you're
did
not
it
supposed
that
to
way.
like this guy. He's a
Yeah.
fucking dweeb. Man.
Yeah, exactly.
you know,
Like-
they're
But more so, it
He's
was
Michael
just,
Scott.
you
Going
know,
back to it, like
it was just how
and there's an
quick-
office style to it.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
Wicked
Yeah,
Scott.
Well,
as well
nowadays,
as what we
Wicked
do in the
Squad.
shadows.
Wicked Scott.
right? Which,
tie-in,
yeah.
yeah.
But honestly, I mean, nowadays most like it's not even really unfortunate. It's just a testament to how good The Office is. When people see a mockumentary, immediately that's one of the first light bulbs that hits. Is
Yeah.
Office.
Well, they literally go back to the people
Actually, for me,
being
it's the
interviewed.
Spinal Tap.
right, but here's the thing. though.
Yeah,
Here's
turn it to 11.
Here's what kind of
And that's
kills
what
me.
in the shadows do. That's
I
what they do.
love that movie.
I personally, I like some foreshadowing. I like the hints. I like the sprinkles, but I don't know. I felt like it was laid on a little too heavy because within like
it's right on the edge, man.
Yeah,
it really
it's
is.
like within the first 20, 30 minutes, you're like, oh well, something obviously fucked up happens to him because they're talking about him in the past tense.
Yeah.
Not even
But
the first
it
30
was
minutes, dude. It was like the
I think
first
the whole point
3
was to
minutes.
grab your
Yeah.
attention, and
Right.
then he tells the story.
Which it does.
And they take their sides. Like some of them are like, I think what he did was noble, and the other
Right.
people are like, I think
Like,
he like turned on
his
him.
trainee, he's like, no, he fucking exposed it, and he's like, he even called him out. He's like, their shit wasn't even that hard to hide.
Right, and
then
that's the thing, and that's the other thing too that kind of fucked me up is they show him and you can already see the orange jumpsuit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, shit.
Hashtag free the homie.
You know what I'm saying?
Free the
But I
homie.
do
bet you're
love
wondering
the-
how I got here.
I love the ending though. I forgot
It's
to
like,
mention
exactly. It's like fucking the opening of Thor Ragnarok.
Or
it. I forgot to mention it.
Right.
Hey, I forgot to mention the ending. The way it's so like 30 second stops. So like his wife sets up that he likes to make crafts for her and stuff like that.
Right,
And then like
right.
the fact that she gets this like scrap metal rose or whatever. the
And
fuck
then
it
you
is.
literally see him
And then
making
you
it.
literally see him making it, and you're like, "Damn, he's one of them." And it's like,
Yeah.
it's powerful, man. And you don't know,
Yeah.
is that guy coming back? He doesn't
And
know.
that's why we
Like,
need the sequel.
I don't want it.
I
don't
know,
want the
but I
sequel.
will
Well,
take
hold
it.
on. No, I think
No Country for Old Men ending.
Hold on.
Fuck you. I fucking love the Coen Bros, but you know how much
Hold
I
on.
fucking hated that
Hold
ending.
on.
I
Don't
agree.
you fucking
I
start
agree.
with me.
I love the Coen Brothers, but I fucking hate that movie.
I love
I
that
hate
movie.
the ending.
I do not like the movie.
I love
I hate
that
the
movie.
ending.
Look.
I love the fucking
Chuck, me
movie.
and
I
you
hate the
differ
ending.
for once.
I hate the fucking
I do
ending.
love the Coen Brothers. They're
Literally,
fantastic.
sorry, real quick. Like I watched that movie and it was so fucking great, and then it's just fucking
Watch it
Tommy,
again.
and it's just Tommy Lee, like, and I'm looking at
Dude,
Red
it's an
like,
iconic scene.
and
of all time.
I'm looking at Red like,
bro,
what the fuck
He
is that?
told
The
you
ending?
the ending at the ending.
It's
Anyway,
like-
we'll get
it
into
is like it is like that's the fucking ending. He's like, you're supposed to decipher the ending. No, fuck that,
the
man.
ending is the whole point of the thing is that you're always fighting something you're never going to conquer. That's the whole fucking point. Like it always is ongoing. You don't have a
Fuck
definitive
that.
ending.
I wanted
and his
my
dad
ending.
is saying, "Hey, come on, follow me." Like,
But-
all right,
Alright.
but also,
through
I
the
mean,
darkness, through the darkness.
If
Because
the
I was
thing-
where
the,
you're
the
at.
thing is
Sorry.
though, like I understand how you want your sequel. Look, I get it. The District
I wouldn't
9,
turn it down. I'll say
the
that. I'll watch
ending,
this shit
I
out
get
of
it.
it.
I get it.
Yeah.
But that's also like saying, "Yo, I want a sequel to Bebop."
No, oh wow, no. Fuck,
Yeah.
back the fuck up.
Because
back
one,
the fuck up.
how
Nah.
do we know he actually died? How do we know he actually died on them steps?
You really
This
want to start this?
motherfucker
You
got
want to walk
blown-
down this road?
This motherfucker got blown out of
You
a
wanna
fucking
walk-
church window.
You want to walk down
took
this
a grenade
fucking road?
damn near to the face.
You want to walk
and
down
he
this
survived.
fucking road? You want to walk
You
down?
gonna tell me?
That motherfucker's dead. Fuck you, Bo. That motherfucker's
Anyways.
dead. All right, look, real quick for the audience. All right, we want to hear if y'all want a District 9 sequel or if you think that Spike Spiegel's dead. Drop that shit in the comments.
Basically, you want a Bebop sequel or you want a District 9 sequel? Drop that shit
Apples
in the
and
comments.
oranges, but yeah.
I love,
Why can't fruit be compared?
I love that it went
Shout out to Little Dicky. But yeah, so back to it though. Yes, I agree with all points made here. Solid movie. The undertones about racism and xenophobia, all this shit was on point. But also the internal struggle as he's slowly realizing he's becoming one of them, and he's in full fucking denial until the last like
Google
15
gobble
minutes.
one of us.
literally-
Google gobble one of us.
Like, it literally wasn't until like the last 15 minutes that he was like, fuck it, I am going to be one of you guys. Like, even after he pulled that bullshit stunt where he knocks out Christopher,
Yeah,
Dick
bro.
move.
like,
That was a total dick move.
That made me go, I hate you, motherfucker. I don't
Right.
care what you do.
Yeah.
at first, like, you had, like, it was like the meme. They had me in the beginning. They had me in the first half. Like,
I'm not going to lie. They had us in
right.
the first half.
Like, I was with you, I was with you until you
I was
knocked
like,
out Christopher.
broke into that fucking place with you, and he went down.
Right,
and saw
well-
his people being fucking lab
And
rats.
not even that.
Those guys are
Christopher
badass, by the
hit
way.
your ass.
Christopher was
Yeah.
the shit. He's the
Yo,
best character by far.
Christopher and Franked your ass.
Yes, he did.
Straight up. Shout out to that. Like, Christopher and Franked you.
Bro, you got me. with
Meanwhile, you get fucking Caesar on his ass. Like, how you do that?
I say we're Judas.
That was
Brutus.
a great
No,
little
no, no.
Judas?
Brutus.
Judas?
Brutus.
Brutus?
Yeah, Brutus is the one that stabbed Caesar. Et tu, Brutus.
Right.
So,
Or that.
But the scenario.
we
You
go,
basically stabbed homeboy after he saved your ass. Like, that's fucked
reference
up.
after
Yeah.
reference going on like,
That's
for
pretty
no reason.
fucked up. But honestly, though, like, that was my only big gripe is that it went from mockumentary, documentary to straight full on film, which it's good. Like, it's a good movie. I'm not saying it's a bad movie because of it. It's just a little jarring.
Yeah.
I think they did it because of budget restraints.
Right.
They did.
But I also think it went from, hey,
I agree.
you know,
It's like kind of
they built the world with that.
Yeah.
Don't
They
go
built
dying
the
on us,
world
Chuck.
because you got to one, you got introduced to the fucking the mercenary like right off rip.
Right.
The badass mercenary guy who, shout out to him, he held it down as much of an asshole as he was.
I'm glad he got
great, though.
fucking clapped,
exactly.
dude. He got ripped.
I'm
the
glad
fuck
he
up,
got
dude.
killed it
fucked
on the
up.
movie.
He got ripped.
But
the fuck
I will
up.
give credit where credit due. Homeboy held it fucking down.
he killed the role. Yeah.
Yeah, he was holding it down. I hate that motherfucker. I'm glad he died, but damn, they got their money's worth with him. But they introduced you to that, his personality, the dynamic between the
Great
his
acting
boss
across the board when you think
right, exactly. Everybody killed it.
Absolutely, yeah.
I just like I said, it was just real jarring. But otherwise, it was great. This is my first time watching it, so a lot of this shit was
Really?
brand, yeah.
No
that's awesome,
shit.
man.
Wow.
I wasn't like when I saw it when it first came. I was like, yeah, whatever.
Oh no, I definitely that was one of my watch.
Shout out
Must
to
watch.
my
made a
buddy Alan.
huge
He's the one that made me
profit,
watch it. And
Shout out to
I
Alan.
was very surprised how much I enjoyed
But
it.
favorite scene though for me, honestly, had to be when he first bit off his fingernail.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Fucked me up, dude.
The whole transformation
I
every
forgot
so
all
often
about
is
that.
like fucking
Yeah,
awesome.
because
Yeah.
it went
I
from
love how he comes clean to the doctor. He's like, oh, once he had to go to the doctor, he's like, oh yeah, well I should tell you, I've been losing my fingernails. I've been spitting black shit up, like
Right.
this shit coming
You
black
see
shit
the
out.
cat food and the teeth come out. Like what?
yeah, dude. Well, that was after that.
Animalistic.
Though.
That was
That
after
was
that.
after that, though.
Yeah, I know, but I'm
this
saying
was like
the transformation in general is crazy.
well, just for me though,
Yeah.
when he comes home and the surprise party, he's sick as fuck, and
Yeah.
that whole scene, like he's already fucked up, and then his fucking father-in-law is just like, "Yo, what the fuck are you doing?" Like pulling him off to the side, his own fucking
puking on his own cake.
Dude, the thing is, this man had the balls to pull him aside at his own fucking party
it's like, bitch, you
for his promotion, and he's like, "Hey, come here real quick. I know this is all about you, but I'm about to ruin your fucking day even more by putting this fear into you." Like that shit, like
fuck it
because it got real intense for me at that point.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, this motherfucker about to pass because I knew it. I was like, he's about to pass.
I liked
out.
also a little touch they did. It'd be like 24 hours after exposure,
right,
48
yeah.
hours
Yeah.
after exposure.
Exactly.
I love that.
And they
because-
show you his actual transformation into the prawn, basically.
Yeah.
We should mention, by the way, the fluid that he was exposed to. It took 20 years to collect a small
Yeah.
vial,
Yeah.
which is probably like 12 ounces, 16 ounces worth.
And as
And
I-
it got
it was
him and
just to
and-
get the ship up to the mothership.
right
to get him
Exactly.
home.
All
That
it
was
was
it. Yeah.
just to get home.
And I'll say that shout out to Mike, the sequel, District 10.
there you go.
What would we call
Thank
it?
you, Mike. Thank you, gang, gang.
We're talking about District 10 at some
Right.
point. There
District
was-
10 gang.
But I will say that,
Right
and
at the
then
end, they reference it.
honestly, in the tidbit too, that actually was I did enjoy that little bit where they showed him creating the fluid and how it
Yeah.
went through like the sifting process, and that shit was cool as fuck.
The Ferrous,
yeah, like
liquid
just
and shit. Yeah, that was
the
pretty cool.
separation.
Yeah.
It was
Less
cool.
scientific.
Super scientifical. It's very scientifical stuff. But yeah, I enjoyed that. Him initially basically waking up in the hospital, seeing the arm, like that whole fucking sequence was
All right.
really brought you in.
What was your score, Bodas?
Score though is solid fucking solid 8. Solid
All right.
8.
All right, man.
For somebody who's not really big,
That was a
in-
pretty
in that
consistent
shit.
rating for that one.
Yeah, I mean, it speaks on a lot of things. Like, you don't have to be a big sci-fi fan to get it, to enjoy it, you know. And it speaks on a lot of true things that are still true to this day. So
Damn
I
near
definitely
perfect sci-fi.
exactly. The next review we're doing, and so we got anything. Over
See if we
here?
got a little survey there.
See if we got any comments, because I got 2 sets of comments I got to fucking look at. This is a lot of work. No,
2
we're
sets
good
of
here.
comments. Why?
Yeah, there's watch party comments and live video comments.
It's hard to read all this text.
Right. Well, like I said, I missed our previous.
All right, so
comments.
Mike said he's down for District 10.
Right. District 10. All right, so the next review we're going to do, we're going to keep it in the sci-fi house, and we're going to move on to devs next.
Beep boop, beep boop, beep boop.
I got some things to say about this, but
Okay.
this was him.
Yep.
He picked it, Mr.
did.
Big Red.
Yes.
Take it away, sir.
And I want to say shout out to FX on Hulu because he's got What We Do in Shadows, which is also that, and Dave, which you just referenced.
Right. Which
Yeah.
is also pretty funny.
So like FX on Hulu, fucking killing it right now.
FX in general is pretty awesome.
yeah.
I like them.
Huru's awesome.
So we've done the first 4 episodes.
Yes.
I only watched the first one. I was dicking around, so my apologies.
I finished it.
So-
Hold up, real quick, because I do got to drain the weasel. And I want to say this before we get into it. Fucking Ron Swanson.
Yeah.
Fuck Ron Swanson.
So
Swanson, man.
Right. I did finish
So-
it, by the way.
the non-spoiler version.
Yeah, don't.
Real quick.
I'm not.
Because there's actually a big spoiler in the first episode, in my opinion, which is because it's kind of leading you down a certain direction and it completely turns on its head. But it's about two computer engineers.
Is it the fire?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. Because like the whole time you're thinking, well, I'll just say like the non-spoiler version. So like, this show's about two computer engineers, couple. One's a Ruski, one's a Chinese
Sergey.
lady. Yeah, Chinese lady, Lily and
Sergey.
Sergey. Yeah, Sergey.
Sergey
So-
Pavlov. It doesn't get more fucking Russian than that.
I know, right?
Da.
So, yeah. So the boyfriend, Sergey, gets promoted to a secret, what would you call it, secret program?
I would say like
Yeah.
a fucking secret sector. If
Within
you will.
this
Yeah. Good word.
quantum
Yeah.
computing
The way
tech
that shit was
company.
guarded, holy motherfucker,
I
dude.
know,
right?
dude, right? Yeah. So like he gets promoted and he's actually getting in this place. You find out really quickly. This is where it gets spoilery. You find out really quickly that first 4 episodes. Yeah, he's a Russian spy, and he's got like a wristwatch. They call it a James Bond wristwatch, and he kind of goes in the bathroom. By the way, incredible acting because he goes in the bathroom and you're like, is he puking because you don't know he's a spy yet? Is he puking because like he's freaked out by like what this means, this code, because he actually figured it out so fast? But come to find out, he's freaked out because not only that, but also the fact that he figured out, at least the way I read it, he figured out that if they can actually, if this is what determinism really is, and they know what's going on right now and in the future, they know what I am, and they're going to kill me. You know what I'm saying? Some really cool stuff going on there.
And that's something of what happens in episode 1.
Yes, and so they kill what you
A lot
think.
happens
They
in
kill
more
what you think
episodes.
is going to be the main lead. So I'm already in spoilers. But like
is
it's
literally
so
spoiler-free.
dude. That's what got me into the second they put his head in a bag and they were doing that. I was like,
Yeah.
holy shit,
Shout out to Nick Offerman, by the way.
dude!
Doing
Nick
some-
Offerman, like
Or
if
Ron
you-
Swanson.
Ron Swanson, bro.
to have this,
Like,
just a
I-
drastically different
you
role
couldn't-
from that to this. It's
Yeah.
so
and you
big.
also, in my opinion, couldn't cast a better person to play this
He
role.
was awesome.
especially as we watch the next 4 episodes.
Contrast from fucking Ron.
Yes, the
Exactly.
contrast.
The
That's the whole
contrast.
thing.
God, dude,
So
what a
what's his
fucking
name in this fucking
what a
show?
fucking
Forrest.
performance, Forrest.
Forrest? Yeah.
And Debs is out in the forest.
True.
But he didn't run.
I just said that.
He didn't run.
Debs is out in the forest.
No. Forrest didn't run.
Yes.
Forrest Run.
Yeah,
I
but
think
like,
I'm the only one that got
so
that.
this is a show. This is a really heady show, and it kind of gets. I mean, it's like the perfect balance of like it gets surface level with these ideas of determinism, which I've always preached. Well, always, like 3 years ago, I started believing in determinism personally, and I love it when it manifested itself in the show Watchmen with Dr. Manhattan. I don't know if anybody's seen it.
I didn't see the movie or
Anybody
the
seen
show,
that?
but I remember the movie.
So like that's the first piece of pop culture I saw where like determinism was actually like kind of like a big theme of the show or whatever, which is cool.
Wait, the show or the movie?
The show.
Okay.
So like, the movie a little bit too, but especially in the show,
Loosely.
they really play into that. So yeah, when the second I'm watching this and he gives that big speech right before he kills Sergey, where he's like, I forgive you. This is forgiveness or whatever he says,
Right.
and like he talks about how we're all on tram lines, everything's set and fixed.
It had to be you,
past and the
Tony.
future.
I knew it was you, Tony. I knew it was you.
But that's the cool thing is the next 4 episodes. So the first 4 episodes are kind of like on determinism, and they kind of follow Ron Swanson.
Yeah.
They follow Ron Swanson's philosophy.
We'll just stay with Ron.
of
Yeah.
determinism.
Forced.
And then the next 4 episodes, they get into I honestly can't remember if they started talking. about
I
the
haven't
4th
watched the
episode.
last 4, so
Yeah, but the 4th episode, did they start talking about mini worlds at all?
a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, so
Loosely.
That's when
Very
Homeboy
loosely.
got
Lyndon.
fired. That's when
Lyndon.
Lyndon got fired,
Which was
for-
a girl, by the way.
Yeah.
That's an actress.
yes,
She's
What?
non-binary. Yeah, she's
and I bet
non-binary.
I feel like they did that to get around child labor laws
who, by the way, Lyndon, the character,
because
is supposed to be 19.
she's like a teenage boy, but
She looks like she's like 12.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, wait.
And no 19-year-old these
Hold
days.
on,
is gonna
that's
listen
supposed to
Primus,
be
so-
a 19-year-old boy?
Yes,
Lyndon.
Lyndon. That's
But it's
the
a
character's
girl?
a boy, but the actress is a girl.
She's a girl, bro.
I had no idea until I looked
Check
at
her
it.
ass
Like,
out
oh,
when you
shit.
can. She's
That's crazy. That's crazy.
It's not a dude ass.
So, but yeah, that was the 4th episode because Lyndon got fired for using the algorithm
So, yeah,
where he
Right.
used.
Lyndon's
So,
theory.
um,
You
can
can see how Ron Swanson got like super fucking emotional about that, and there's a reason for it.
Right.
Let's just put it
Oh,
that
yes.
way. Yeah.
I'm not gonna get
Did
into
you finish it?
I finished it. I could not wait.
yes.
I couldn't wait 2 more weeks. I had
See,
to
no.
finish it.
I've been
Dude, it's
dicking around, so
engaging,
I only
right?
watched the first episode, but I need to watch the rest of it.
I
I'm
Bro,
fucking,
I
I'm
couldn't
in.
wait.
No, I'm probably
Yeah.
just gonna do like an
It's a
ice.
solid fucking
I'm
show,
gonna do
man.
like a Coke binge of that fucking
give
show,
you-
and
So-
then like
It's incredible.
Red, I'm gonna give you a
So-
fist bump for that one.
Big Red.
Dude,
Come on, man.
I fucking
Focus.
dude, like when it spoke to me, like I like. First of all, every time Ron Swanson's on screen, magnetic,
Yeah.
fucking like I mean, super like I'm focused on him. His
It's very
eyes,
calculated.
bro. Like he acts with his eyes as good as anybody, man. Like,
Yeah.
he's got that big old beard and shit, but he's like those fucking eyes. They pierce.
No,
you.
dude, the command is
Yeah.
from the fucking facial hair. Come on.
I love how you see him.
eyes.
The first time you see him, he's like
Great
you know,
song.
taking greens and
Guess
just like
who?
shoveling them.
They're
in his
never
mouth.
gonna live again like you.
But yes, go ahead.
These eyes, man.
so-
Fucking Joey. Joey's brother's killing it, man.
These I've never seen another lie like you.
The way I worded it to you was like Alex Garland is a man after my own heart, as V for Vendetta said.
Okay.
He's a man after my own heart, and that there's a lot of also pay attention too because you're only on the first episode. Mm-hmm. You saw the halos that are hanging from the tree, and like
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
Swanson
Looking
got up
like
behind
Portal and shit.
it, but there's a lot of religious imagery going on,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a lot of just in the first episode. I think he tells me he's like, "You have as much money as God," or not even the second episode. He's like, "You have as much money as God." Like
I want to say it was the second
it
episode.
was the
It's
second
worth
then,
it. Yeah.
okay. He's like, "You could be anywhere." Da, da, da,
And that
this
was
and
Kenton talking to him.
There's a lot
His,
of the
his
senator,
bodyguard security
the
guy.
Head of security.
when the senator shows up and she's like, "I could crucify you."
Yeah.
There's a lot of like little nods to religion that like really make that really like come. You'll see in the next.
Oh,
four
they
episodes.
play into that heavily. later
Yeah,
on.
man. But like in the beginning, it's like really like that's what kind of grabbed me. I love Alex.
You sure
Garland.
it wasn't the sense?
Alex Garland always ties like how tech is kind of the new religion. What?
Sure it wasn't the sense that grabbed you?
That too, bro.
Bruh. Oh, real quick. And I'm not. Look, and shout out to anybody jumping in Debs, FX. Look, when I started watching the first episode, I immediately knew this was a you pick because I forgot for a split second.
Really? You forgot?
For a split second, I forgot because
This is peak television.
I was just like, Debs, who picked this? And I'm like, whatever. And I started watching it, and like within the first
It's a
minute, I was like,
Thinking Man
oh,
show.
it's a red pick.
It's a red pick.
because
The
it's a
beginning-
fucking synth,
Because
bro.
Red
the
likes to
beginning of
pick
every
stuff that makes you
episode-
think.
Yeah.
The beginning of every episode is like avant-garde fucking imagery.
It's like
I was
So
kind of worried, like, oh, it's gonna be
done.
one of those at first.
Yeah, I know, like,
but then it goes
too into its own
Like,
fucking
no, when I
ass.
saw the halos, I was like, oh, yeah, this is... Big Red, I was like, yeah, he was jerking off to this shit already. He's
Right.
like, the imagery, the visualism.
the fucking synth.
Nailed it.
bro, like, and it goes even deeper and better. And there's
That's what she said.
I can't wait to get into the final episode because like there's so much going on. Like
Just like this,
just
Big Red?
remember religion.
Just like this?
Yeah. Like there's a lot of anyway.
So out of the
So-
4 first episodes,
What was your fave?
It's the fave.
I still got more to say. It's daring.
Daring.
I mean, you got more to say, dude, but we only got 35 minutes
we
left.
Still got a whole other.
So this is like to me like good sci-fi is so rare, and it's like you got The Expanse. You got fucking what's it called? What's Battlestar Galactica. You got shit like that.
That
But
one
those
fell
are-
off.
But this isn't even like this is more heady.
It's
Avant-garde,
thought-provoking.
like there's something about it. It's like
It's
very
super artistic.
It's provocative, not provocative. Provocative.
I think that's like
I'm
every
super
Marvel
into.
movie. Provocative.
But apparently, like, so this guy made Ex Machina, which
Okay.
is
Yeah,
incredible.
I'm
then he
sold.
made
See that?
then he made Annihilation with Natalie Portman.
Oh, okay.
Oh, by the way, the girl that's the lead in this, she played. You remember in Ex Machina?
I never watched it.
You never
Katie
watched it?
Pill?
No. What?
Or not
Allison
Katie,
Pill.
Pill.
The
Katie
blonde
was her
girl.
character's
No,
name.
that's the blonde girl.
Yeah, she was
I'm
also
sorry.
the drummer in Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, she
The
was.
band.
Yes.
Hold up. Rewind.
Yep.
What?
Come on, Bo.
In
Get
Scott
with it,
Pilgrim.
man.
She was
Yeah.
the drummer.
The lead actress?
Damn,
Yes.
it went out. Fuck.
You're talking about the lead actress?
Yes, Katie. Allison Pill.
That's
No,
Allison Pill?
Pill's the girl with the blonde hair, right?
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
yeah. She was the drummer in Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about the lead girl.
Holy shit.
Oh, you're talking about Lily.
Yeah, Lily.
Oh, no. The blonde chick, though.
Yeah,
The blonde-
she
She
was
was
the drummer in
also
Scott
in
Pilgrim.
American Horror Story. She was
Yes.
The one that's always like cold
the
stairs
cult
or
episode. The cult episode. She was the other
Holy
part of the
shit,
couple.
that's
lesbian
Allison
couple.
Pill?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4!
Yeah, her.
I fucking love that.
I can't believe you didn't notice that.
Bo, get with
As much
it,
as
man.
many times
Dude,
you've watched Scott
I know.
Pilgrim.
Well, dude, it's the freckles and the red hair, bro.
True, yeah.
Like, she
But
looks...
then again, that was also like, what, 10 years ago?
Exactly. And, like, the thing is, that's why I mentioned American Horror Story, because that was, like, the most recent big thing I seen her in was that.
True.
And I was just like,
I mean, I've
oh,
got a
Good
good,
in that.
I've got a
She's good
good,
in everything.
I've got a good gender detector, anyways. I have a thing for redhead girls, so that's why I was like, oh, I've seen her before. So
Yeah.
I know this. Where do I know her from?
everybody's watching Scott Pilgrim. He's like, drama.
yeah, exactly.
Everybody else
Fuck
is like,
knives.
oh, Ramona.
Nah, fuck
knives.
Ramona. Y'all can have
And he's
Ramona.
like,
Y'all can
"Nah,
have
I'm
knives. I was like, what's up, girl?
No, I totally had a crush on Ramona. It was all about
She
Ramona.
stares. She just stares at you cold.
exactly. I was like, oh yeah, let me holler at you, boo. Let me holler at you.
She's like, you see the pin roll, Jofer? Well, you don't, well, they haven't seen that yet.
But
All right, so Lily. So yeah.
Oh yeah, so Lily was in Ex Machina. She was one of the ones that dances with him when he does the big dance sequence. I don't know if y'all remember Ex Machina.
Was she?
Like
was it,
when he's like dancing. What does he dance
she?
to? Fuck.
She wasn't the assistant, was it?
She was the one that works. Yeah, she seems a lot older in that movie.
Yes, she does.
Yes.
Holy shit!
She seems younger in this. I guess
Right.
because of the her
shout
character.
out to Mike. He said AHS 1984 is it's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
It was a
Shout
good
out
season.
to Julia. What up?
Not the best, but it was a good season.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I stopped watching the Cold, actually.
And she's also in Annihilation. Have you ever seen Annihilation?
Nope.
I want to say I
Oh,
did.
fuck.
Who was
gotta
she?
watch
Who
it.
was
I
she in?
think I did watch that.
At the very end, the one that's
Actually,
like.
are we talking about Mortal Kombat?
Damn, that's a big
Annihilation?
spoiler.
Get out.
Mortal Kombat
No,
Annihilation. right?
not
No,
Mortal
it's a
Kombat.
big spoiler, so I won't say it. But it's at
No.
the end. I'll say.
All right. Well, what's your favorite episode?
Text me the scene.
Debs.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna read it. But so
Debs, season
so
1, episode 1
Goddamn.
through 4.
Favorite
So
episode.
Nick Offerman kills it. I will say, if I do have a critique of the show, it's that the acting around Nick Offerman, I feel like, is really, and it might be purposeful, but it's really flat a lot of the time.
Not strong.
Not as strong, not nearly.
What was your favorite up?
Yeah. 1 through
favorite
4.
episode?
1 through 4.
Probably 4 when you start to finally see what when he finally. So it'll be my scene as well. My favorite
Okay.
episode and scene, I guess.
Well, yeah. So in this case, that's what we're doing.
Well, shit.
Yeah.
My favorite scene might be when he kills Sergey, because that's when it finally. I love the fact that you think this is going to be your lead, and they just kill him off immediately.
Yeah.
Which is like the first.
Oh wait,
20
with shows don't we
minutes.
do favorite episodes? Not
Yeah,
favorite
just
scenes?
favorite episode.
Yeah.
Whatever. That's my favorite scene. My favorite episode's 4 because that's when you finally see.
Shit coming together.
Well, you finally see him when Lyndon gives his like mini worlds, he kind of throws out his determinism theory,
Right.
And he says, "Okay, I'm going to actually like trace this back 2,000 years, or
2,000 years.
yeah, 2,000 years of Jesus, right? Jesus on the cross.
Yes.
Yeah. So he traces back 2,000 years, which
Right.
is as far back as they can go at the moment, I think.
Yes.
Right.
And
Something like that.
Yes.
Anyway, so like he takes that, or Alison Pill takes that, and she plays for him his daughter blowing bubbles in her bedroom.
Right.
And like you see his response, and you could see, like, dude, he embodies that fucking character.
Yeah. But you can also tell, and I'm glad you brought that up, because you can also tell there's anger there, too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And you don't know exactly what happened yet with Amaya.
No. But
Which
obviously, we
yeah.
know so far in
But
these
it-
first 4
Which
episodes.
is company's, by the way, is name of Maya, which
Right.
is Forrest's
Yes.
character's
Yeah.
daughter.
Right.
Yes. And by the way, that's a creepy ass shot when it's like you see it
See
going
her in the
into the
fucking
woods, and you
forest?
see her
Yes.
fucking
Yeah.
And it, like the by the way, like there's so much like religious. If you ever watch it again, just make a note of all the little religious like
Well, that you
references.
mentioned it, I
or-
totally thinking back.
But like, dude, there's like choral music everywhere. It even says
Yeah.
in the subtitles when you
Right.
if you actually watch it, and it's like, and like even Devs, it looks like a little like cathedral, or like it's like
Yeah,
all
it
kinda
gold
does,
and
yeah.
like
Well, it's got the
they
halos
worship
and,
the fucking
Right.
like machine itself, and that's by the way, if
Exactly.
you look up quantum computing, that's what it looks like and shit. Like
Yep.
that's not just something that's made up.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
they
I
did
know.
homework.
Like they did their homework for sure.
So what's your
It's Alice Garland. Of
score
course he
for the
does
first
homework.
4 episodes?
my
Just the score for the
Score.
first 4.
I'm gonna say 9.8 out of 10. Yeah,
That's a strong.
I fucking dude. I was
That's strong.
engaged through the
Strong.
through the first 4 episodes. I was like fucking
Okay.
in. I watched it all at once, and it was late into like it was like 2 or 3 in the morning. I had to be up at 7. I watched that
Okay.
shit. That's how much I was into it. So
All right.
Boatings.
yeah,
Okay.
Okay, I reloaded.
All right. So it is solid so far. I'm not going to be that high on the list though with you. I'm sorry.
get it.
Reason being because
no Freddy.
well, not even that. That's unfair.
I'm joking, man.
But
Low hanging fruit. Low
right,
hanging
like, come
fruit.
I'm guilty.
Oh no, I'd swing at that
Look,
shit too, man.
my thing is this: with TV
T-ball.
shows, you got to really pull people in. and I didn't get pulled in until damn near halfway through the second episode.
Really?
Yeah. The first episode, I was like, okay, this is a pretty interesting concept. I don't know what's going on, but it's kind of interesting.
The tramline monologue didn't get you?
No, I mean, no, honestly, shout out to Nick Offerman, a.k.a. Ron Swanson, a.k.a. motherfucking Forrest, because he is really the big reason why I was able to stick through to now episode 4 and be like, yeah, this is actually a pretty solid show. He holds it down for himself, because also I have watched Parks and Recreation more than I can count. I love this show. It's a hilarious show.
Parks and Rec or Office, if you had to choose.
Ooh, that's fucked up.
I choose Parks and Rec, honestly.
Dude,
Me too. I like it a little bit better.
And I haven't watched all the episodes.
All those watching
if
right
it weren't
now,
for the last 3 seasons of
Parks
Office,
and Rec
I would
or
choose
Office.
I'll put it like this: if I'm watching,
I'm gonna give you that. If it wasn't
when
for,
Michael
I'll put it-
Scott left,
dude.
it went downhill.
oh, without a doubt.
I'll put it like this: if The Office is on or Parks and Rec on 2 channels, and I had to pick, I'm picking Parks and Rec every time.
Okay.
I
That's
think
just
there's
me
more
personally.
character development in Parks and Rec.
See,
It's funnier to me.
Not only that,
yeah,
but
yeah.
Parks and Rec actually has 2 Marvels. It has Star Lord and it has Ant Man.
and it has
is
little
true.
Sebastian.
and
Yes.
little Sebastian.
May you rest in
Yeah.
peace.
I mean, that's a whole nother episode. I can't even. I'm not.
But you have to
answering that.
admit, it's good to have shows like this that actually
Right.
swing for the fences.
Well, because no. You are absolutely 110% correct. Because you know why? Because real quick sidebar, I watched Malcolm in the Middle from beginning to end, and then I watched Breaking Bad. And let me fucking tell you,
And
Bryan
Malcolm in the Middle is a
Cranston.
solid show.
Well, the
That's a
thing,
great
not even
analogy,
that,
man.
not even that. Just
With
the
Bryan
fact
Cranston.
that Bryan Cranston.
Oh, he can-
Jesus fucking.
that's a great analogy.
Christ.
Yeah.
He's a
Yep.
great
That
it.
man
actor.
is up there with fucking
like it.
Gary Oldman and
Dude, by the
fucking
way,
Johnny
Malcolm
Depp.
in the Middle was an underrated fucking
Oh,
show.
yes.
Oh, it's
And-
so funny.
And when you
So
watch it from
underrated.
season 1 to season, well, I don't
Yeah,
know, it was like
8.
8.
Yeah.
You see the it actually had character development.
did.
Is
totally did.
Kenton Mike from Breaking Bad?
I had the same thing. I thought the same thing.
Kind of, yeah.
I even mentioned that to my wife. Yeah.
There's
I mean,
a lot
he
of
tried-
references, man.
Right, but I mean that's the thing is you see like thank you for Parks and Recs because you see Nick Offerman has fucking range,
He does.
Yeah.
and that's what kept me going.
Dude, and he started off from the fucking improv group in fucking
Right.
Chicago. Think about that.
Was he with the same group as Amy Poehler and all those guys?
I don't know if it might have been, but I know that that's how he met Megan Mullany, and then they've been clapping buddies for a while. So.
Right, yeah. Also, was it whether the wife is from Parks and Rec?
That's
shout out to Lance
number 2. That's the number 2.
what's
I
the
forgot.
wife's name? Starts
What,
with
where
T,
the,
right?
Tammy. That's Tammy number 2.
Tammy number 2.
Megan, Megan Mullany
That's
is
his real life wife.
Yeah, exactly. Megan Mullany, yeah, and then that's Tammy number 2 too.
So
Awesome.
Katie,
Katie.
Oh, yeah. Katie.
shout out to Katie.
Let's go, Katie.
But yeah, shout out to Lance. He said he'd rather watch The Office over Parks and Recs, but he
All
likes
right.
I respect your decision.
and he says love Breaking Bad and Hal is a goon. True facts. No, Hal was pretty much live action Homer.
oh yeah, totally.
Without the beer belly. But no, seriously, watching those in the contrast, the same thing and the same concept with Parks and Recs and Devs. Like you see Nick Offerman, his range is ridiculous. But like it's just like I said, the synths to me are a little too much because they really hit you. Like the first episode's like a can of fruit. I'm like, why? Why? What are we
I think
doing
it's
here?
effective.
It's not effective when there's nothing going on though. Like
Murdering the motherfucker
no, not even that. Before that,
in the woods.
like literally, bro. You
in the woods with a bag over his head.
You can't deny. You cannot.
He
deny
can't breathe, man.
The fact that within the first
soon, Red,
like
too soon.
the first like what 5 minutes, like it's just like a fucking empty block or parking lot or some shit. And you're, "Bwah." What are you emphasizing?
Bro,
Like that's what was killing me, honestly. Like no, it has effects. Again, I'm with the synths and shit like that.
it's
when
moody.
It does, but when there's nothing going on, what are you worrying about? You know what I'm saying? That's my gripe. It is a real slow mover.
Emphasizing this tech company.
This is a really big slow burn. This guy has
It is a
fucking
slow burn.
hard
I'm
on
all
for
about slow burn.
Okay, so it is a slow
Loves
burn,
his
but
slow
it's
burns.
incredibly worth it.
Right. So,
Yes.
like I said, don't get me wrong. I am enjoying it now.
And I'll be honest, I can't wait to talk about the final episode.
right, and
Oh,
I'm
I
sure
can't wait
The
either.
final episode
Well,
is
the
like
way-
there's going to be some polar opposite
right.
reactions.
Well,
to
here's
it,
the thing:
I
the
guarantee.
way they have they built it up to now, like again with Sergey, I was with you. Like I was like, okay, main character.
when he
cool.
got Drazvidanya.
Bam. Exactly. He got Russian real hard. Then even that guy, the Russian, fucking Russian. Like they are really pulling.
You got industrial espionage going on.
Yeah, they are pulling Game of Thrones because they're like, they're like, oh, look over here, and bam, you get over from over here.
Mm-hmm.
Except not everybody dies in this show,
right? But like I said, it was a real slow mover. But my favorite scene, or actually episode so far, probably is the 4th, because that's when shit has officially kicked into high gear. Like, I don't know if that 4 was. I think it had to be 4. No, maybe it wasn't. It was probably the
It's
end
for
of
the
3.
one where they're looking at the rat in the beginning, and there's like the colors.
I've only watched
or
the first episode, man.
the
So you're
color,
looking at
like,
the wrong
no,
pirate.
it's like all the faces in the
at
beginning.
Get mixed up.
Well, at
Remember
the end of episode 4 is when they get her committed, and then her ex is, I think, pretty much dead at this point. Was the end of episode 4.
Oh yeah, so he's pushing.
But
That's right. Yeah, it's
now-
a bit of a cliffhanger.
There's sense there.
Right, but it works because it's a tense scene. But when you have a synth on an empty
He's like,
street,
I love that shot. By the way, I love that shot. By the way, where it's like it's like I think it was in the bathroom or something, and like you see him like with his neck around his throat going through the other room, like,
Right.
across the like.
right?
Yeah, that was fucking.
Well,
badass.
and the thing
Across
is
the
too,
frame.
I don't know if it was that episode or the one prior, the 3rd, where she stole the shit from, where she had the meltdown and everything.
Yeah.
I don't think it was 3 or 4. I'm not sure.
I think
the
it's 3.
meltdown.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's 3.
Yeah, which that was a dope scene.
That was
Like,
pretty cool.
I kind of picked up on it too.
Because she's over the top.
Right.
I'll be honest, like that was a point where I was like, I don't like this actress.
Right.
Until you realize
Right?
that, like,
she was
it
terrible, but then it's like, oh, she was fucking like that was a whole act. That was awesome. Yeah.
Right.
And shout out to her friend for holding her down.
Yes.
But yeah, episode 4 though, definitely, because again, it kicked into high gear. Lyndon got fired, which I was starting to enjoy the little kid and the older guy. Their dynamic.
The chemistry
not over.
between those two, I loved it.
It's
yeah,
great.
Loved
and
it.
I was very
By the way, that's
sad.
my favorite character. What's the black dude's name? Stewart.
Stewart, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, Stewart's my favorite.
And
Yeah, he's awesome.
Oh, the monologue about like your generation don't know shit.
I fucking love that. That's my favorite scene right
Yes.
there.
Right?
My favorite
that was a
scene.
good
Dude,
one.
incredible.
First of all, the 19-year-old today wearing a Primus shirt isn't going to know who the hell Primus is.
I know,
So,
right,
yeah.
dude?
But yeah, so first 4
And you
episodes.
think she's listening to music, but it's really sound waves.
Yeah.
Eventually you realize, yeah.
But
Sorry,
first 4 episodes, I'm gonna give a solid 7. Solid 7 for sure.
that's good.
All right.
I'll take it.
You said you only watched 1 episode, so we're gonna skip you. Chuck.
Damn, man, let him review the episode real quick. 1 second.
I mean,
How'd you feel about your 1 episode?
well, okay, the 1 episode, slow burner for sure, dude. And honestly, and I'm still like, I was apprehensive because, like you said, like honestly, I don't not like, I do not.
I don't not
hate-
like.
Yeah, like
not
I'm not a
like.
fan of surprises. Sometimes when it's something slow burning like this, but then fucking clapping Sergi like that, I was like, so I definitely have to give it more of a doubt. I have to like kind of like let go of like my premises on this one.
You have to
and
finish it.
and I have to finish it. I have to see this
because
through.
I don't know if Red touched on it, what they were doing, but you find out in the next episode they pull the Ant-Man.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Basically,
Yeah,
they're pulling an Ant-Man.
Essentially, yeah.
it's
Have you
a
seen
computer.
Ant-Man and the Wasp?
I have. I've seen all the
Yeah.
Marvel movies.
So they're
All
pulling
right,
an Ant-Man.
So for now, I'm gonna give
said
it
this last week.
I'm gonna
Or
give it a
2 weeks
6.5 only because I haven't seen the rest of it. So
Fair enough.
All right.
Fair enough. I get
Chuckles.
that. I finished the entire season. I couldn't wait. I watched the first 4 episodes and couldn't wait 2 more weeks to finish it.
All right.
The first episode opens up and you are left with a lot of questions.
Yes.
Some get answered, some don't. At the end of the 4th episode, you realize that Devs is basically working on quantum computing, and then Lyndon's theory basically throws out the idea of Forrest saying, I want this single timeline to go back in 2,000 years. Lyndon basically uses the multiverse theory and says, I recorded Jesus, this is clear. And Forrest comes out and says, that's false.
That's not our Jesus.
Right, that's not our Jesus.
That's not our Jesus, that's
Just like it's
a
not
Jesus.
Maya.
Right.
That's what he says.
So he's
Which is,
basically...
that might be my favorite line, actually. Go ahead, though. I'm sorry.
But Forrest's character is very much against the multiverse theory. He wants everything exactly on their timeline.
Right.
So Lyndon kind of accidentally proves that there's multiverses, and Forrest isn't down with that at all.
Right.
So he fires him on the spot, which is kind of fucked up. But you know, it's his company, whatever, his candy shop. And that's my favorite episode, to be honest. Like
Okay.
the way they touched
Bro,
that. and do
you
everything.
touched on my favorite line when he goes, he says, that's not our Jesus. And he's like, every hair on Amaya's head matters.
Exactly. It's like, well,
then he
first
says-
there's 1 hair, then it's 2 hair, there's 3 hair, there's
You
1,000
can go
hairs.
this way or that
and
way.
then Lyndon says, we're just
unlimited.
splitting hairs here. You know?
Yes.
And I love that.
Caught it.
Loved it. Loved it.
And it's back to the chuckles and love, John Love Fest.
It's definitely a show like you have to pay attention. You can't just put that on the background and just watch.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's the
Really
funny
have
thing
to pay
about it
attention
is like
to
people
it.
think it's a slow burner, and there's like there's a lot of like open.
So much happens.
But it's
Because in
really
between-
like it's actually kind of like airtight when you really look at it. It's
Well,
like
in
it's
between
not-
that, and I'm surprised you guys didn't mention is that after Sergei gets killed, his basically handler. Well, let me put it this way: Lily has Sergei's phone, and there's a Sudoku app, and she says, "Oh, he hates Sudoku."
Yeah.
So let me
Why
try to
is it
open
on
this.
there?
Right.
And it's password protected. Mm-hmm. So then she goes to her ex-boyfriend Jamie,
Which
who
that dynamic.
was pretty reluctant to work with her in the first place, and ends up doing so. And he helps her break into the phone and realizes that, holy shit, this is a messaging app. This is not, Sudoku at all. They find out that he's a Russian agent, and that his handler, for lack of a better term, is a guy named Anton, who Lily reaches out to, and comes to find out that, holy shit, he is a Russian asset.
Right.
And I'm trying to think back now, because I watched this last week.
Me too.
And he basically says, like, if you want answers, you want to contact me again, there's a door that you always put, I forget where.
The chair.
The chair, just move it by the window, and I'll get in contact with you.
Fuck you.
So she takes a sign and writes, fuck you, and
Right.
puts it on the window. Little does she know that he gets killed with a battle with Kenton, which is the
Right.
personal bodyguard for Amaya, or head of security of Amaya.
By the way, the homeless
is
man
awesome.
outside. Who's he look like? Jesus H Christ. And
He's a cool character, too. I like him. I think his
He's
name
a
is
great
Paul.
character.
Paul?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it is. Yeah, I can't
think it
remember.
is.
Yeah. But yeah.
He's a cool character. And one scene, Kenton comes up to him, and Paul doesn't even react to him. It's a homeless dude that literally lives right outside the
Right.
door. He's like, "You're not." He's like, "I'm not afraid of you." And Kenton's like, "Yeah, I know. I'm trying to figure out why."
Yes.
And that scene's pretty.
And then it
powerful,
cuts
too.
away.
And it cuts away. That's it. It leaves it at that. It comes back later. But the fourth episode is definitely my favorite, especially because you really get to see that it touches on the idea of multiverse and to a degree string theory, because that's kind of what I took from it. And basically, you see the God complex of Forrest.
Yes.
And you see exactly what he's trying to achieve. It's
Shout out to
solid
Joe's God
show.
Complex.
Solid 4 episodes.
Throwback.
I would say the first 4 episodes alone, I'm going to give like a 9.5.
Right
It
on.
just
Okay.
gets better from there. I will say that.
All right.
All right, last review for the evening is What We Do in the Shadows. What We Do in the Shadows is on FX. Solid comedy. Brought to you by
Taiki Waititi,
Taiki,
who also
Taika
directed
Waititi.
Thor Ragnarok.
Thor
Ragnarok.
Ragnarok. He also played Korg.
Oh,
Prague.
that's him?
Yeah, that's him.
Hey man, you want to start a revolution?
Yeah.
He plays Hitler in Jojo Rabbit.
Yes.
Oh, shit, you're right.
Dude,
It's
and-
also in What We Do in the Shadows, but later in the series.
dude, but again, you gotta love the Kiwi accent in Krog, dude. Like
Dude,
that's a straight up.
Well, when I first saw it, it threw me off. I was just like, that's not what I was expecting to hear come out that rock guy, like at all.
Dude, but literally, you go
okay,
to
New
Kiwi, like you literally go to fucking New Zealand, and that's how you hear Kiwi
Yeah.
speak. Like,
That's
hey
awesome.
man, what
So,
are you doing
Chuck,
here?
This is you.
So, What We
Take it
Do in
away.
the Shadows is a show I ended up watching on Hulu just on a whim. Became one of my new favorite comedies on TV. I fucking love this show.
FX on Hulu, shout out.
And it's based off the movie to a degree. It's the same universe, different characters. It's basically about a group of vampires that came from the old world that go to Staten Island, New York, to take over the new world.
Fuck Staten Island, by the way.
But also,
Staten
one
Island.
important piece before I let you continue is a mockumentary.
It is
Office.
Very
It-
much
it's
a lot of
it's the
Office
same
vibes
style.
as well.
It's
Yes.
dry, it's silly, it's irreverent, but it's also very morbid at times, which I
Oh, yeah.
appreciate.
Yep.
Yes.
It's I can't remember the two guys. Waka
Waka.
Uh,
Damn it,
uh,
you're just reading me off. Taika
something
Waititi.
Clement.
Taika Waititi and Jermaine Clement,
Clement, yeah.
who were in the original movie. But I think Jermaine Clement was also in Flight of the Conchords, or had something to do with it as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
I think so. He's
Is
like
he,
a writer or something.
starts with N? What's his name?
I didn't watch the show, so I
Andor?
don't really know. No,
But
that's
I
not
think
Andor.
No,
I
That's totally
think
a different
Jamie
guy.
was also the fart in Rick and Morty. I think so. Don't hold me to that, but
Okay.
it's definitely Flight of the Conchord. So
Yeah.
Afraid
No, and like
goodbye, Moon Man.
That's so fucking good.
The show opens up and it's basically like the vampire's handler Guillermo.
Guillermo.
And
He's Josh Gad, if I'm
Guillermo.
not mistaken.
Vampire only laughs.
Joshua Gad. I think that's who plays
Yeah.
him.
I don't
Gad?
remember his actual
Yeah.
name. Yeah,
He was the guy that played the snowman in fucking Frozen.
My opinion.
Yeah.
My opinion. He's like the best looking at the camera. Fucking takes. Like when every time he looks at the camera, I die laughing.
Well, did you guys
no,
know
like
that?
no, like when he's like in a scene and he looks at the camera, he's like,
Oh yeah,
Like, I don't know
So
what
he
it
does
is.
a
The
gym
thing
look.
I didn't know
Yeah, the
until
office
after
shit,
watching up to currently, because I'm currently caught up on the show.
Right.
I didn't realize a lot of it was actually improv,
yes,
Wow.
I read that
which
too.
makes it
No
the show so
fucking
much
shit.
better.
that is actually.
So it's got that,
And some of these lines make so much more sense now
Right.
too.
It's got that silly, dry humor, which I really appreciate.
Oh yeah.
And he opens up with him basically waking up his master, which is Nandor the Destroyer, who's
No, the Relentless.
or the Relentless rather.
Yeah.
Nandor the Relentless.
relent.
They call me Nandor the Relentless because I never relent.
No, you pillage too. You get pillaged too. That whole bit killed me, man. I was like, Chuck picked the shit right here, man.
That show is so goddamn funny.
No, it is. It starts. It starts good.
It starts and it runs the entire time. It's just funny because like they find out that the Baron, which is like the
It's like one of the big,
The boss.
one of the big bosses of the
deal
old world,
vampires.
is
you know?
coming to Staten
No
Island to
genitalia.
check up. He comes to check up
Did he used to
on
have a
them.
thing?
She's like, that's what made him the best lover. Dude, by the way, Nadja, I think, has the best lines of anybody. I wanna
She's
say that.
so
She
funny,
does. She
so
has some
funny.
dope
Yes.
So this, I don't know. The Baron comes to
Yeah,
visit,
Baron.
just check on to see how they're doing, and they open the casket opens itself, and it's this
I can't stop
Shriveled
laughing
look.
just thinking about it, bro.
shriveled looking vampire, has no genitalia.
Definitely
You know.
has nipples though.
He's
Right.
creepy looking, though. When he comes out and his eyes light up, I
That's
was
the
like,
thing. It
damn.
blends that horror
Yeah.
aspect with comedy so
Yes.
well.
Yeah.
It really does.
Like, he actually looks creepy as fuck.
And the first thing he does is he attacks Laszlo and Najia's familiar, just completely devours them and eats her.
Yes.
Yo.
Didn't even know who she was, bro.
You just killed our familiar. And I love when he's talking, and all of a sudden he
Guillermo's
stops, looks at
freaked
the
out, bro.
camera, and he's like, "Are they filming me?"
Right.
Yeah, just pretending
He's
that
the gym
here.
look. It's the gym look. That's it.
Yeah.
Bro, like, the fact that, like, Guillermo's like, holy fucking shit.
Because Guillermo's a human,
Right.
surrounded by all these vampires. He's just mortified because he just watched his other familiar get, eaten, basically.
Dude. And every time like something they do and they're laughing, he's like, "Oh no, only vampires laugh."
It's just a little subtle humor where like they hiss at each other. It's like Laszlo and Nadja are married characters, and he's like, "Oh, we play these games. We chase each other around the house," and she's like, "I'll fucking kill you!" Chasing her with a knife.
It's like, "Oh, it's all fine." God, so funny. So what is
obsession
out of the
with Gregor,
first?
bro.
Yeah, the Gregor obsession.
Fucking the way
That's
she can't
so
pronounce
good.
Jeff
Yeah,
kills
it's like,
me.
Jeff?
Kills me.
So Gregor
Yes.
is basically a reborn character that she's like had an affair with, a love life with for
Okay.
hundreds and hundreds of years, and he gets reborn as this guy named Jeff who has no memory of the past life,
Jeff.
and she knows who he is. He has no idea who he is or she is.
Yeah.
And he's like, he introduces himself like, "Oh, my name's Jeff." Jeff. She can't pronounce it.
The way she always settles on yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
What the fuck is
dude.
happening, bro? The fact she can't do that just kills me. I don't
My
know.
favorite,
It's so
I
stupid,
don't know
too.
if I have two favorite scenes in the first 5 episodes. The first one was the first episode where they find out the Baron's coming back. They're going to prepare Nandor's in the store with the Guillermo. He's like,
The creepy paper.
Creepy paper. He repeats it. He goes, creepy paper, and he goes, ooh, multi-pack.
and they're all like, "It's crepe paper."
Yo.
When he says multi-pack, that killed me, bro. And he goes, what's the magical dust that sparkles? And they're like, the glitter.
And he goes to pay for all the stuff, and he's like, "Guillermo, stab this man." And he has to hand him the credit card. He's like, "Oh, you deliberately disobeyed me, Guillermo."
Yes.
He throws the coin at him.
Dude, that shit.
He goes, did you just throw an ancient coin at me?
And then the other was season 2, where they go to the town meeting because they want to take over
mean
Staten
episode
Island.
2?
Or
Episode
episode 2.
two.
What did I
Yeah.
say? Season 2?
Season 2, yeah.
Episode 2, where they go to take over the town meeting, and he's like eating the mic.
Yo.
So good, dude.
Dude,
I
Staten
like-
Island would be better off being
has
owned
a
by fucking
reaction,
vampires.
though.
He goes to basically say, like, "We're going to take you over. We
Right.
want to, And she's like, "Oh, well, this is just about zoning. You need to come back in our next meeting." What was the next meeting? 2 months. And he turns around and looks at them. They're like, "Okay, I'll be back in 2 months."
Right. So, just off the first 5 episodes, what would you give it?
Fucking funny. Honestly, as comedy goes, it's damn near perfect. For at least in my humor.
Okay.
I'm giving 9.7 because it cracks me up.
All right. Right on.
Red.
Dude,
Era.
a reverent humor is like the perfect description of it, dude.
And not
it's
even
like,
talk about Colin Robinson.
Yeah, dude, Colin Robinson.
Bruh.
That's my favorite moment. Is when
Which one, though?
When Colin Robinson, well, they're all great. Like when he's in the city council meeting and he fucking, I can't get up.
So Colin Robinson he's a whatchamacallit?
He's an emotional
vampire.
He's an energy vampire.
Energy vampire.
But he meets the emotional vampire. That's what I was going to say. Was my favorite.
Right. That.
So when she walks in, I'm like, what the fuck is with this bitch? She's weird.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden she's like, got these sob stories and shit. He goes up to talk to her. He's like, I didn't get any energy from her.
Right. Dude.
The look on his face at the town meeting, though.
Dude, the town meeting, he looks like a animatronic fucking...
Bro.
I don't even know what.
Like, he's like, I can't get up right now, if you know what I mean.
He's like, dude, there's so much to feed on.
Fucking lost it, bro. Like, so...
It is so amazing.
He was also in The Office. He was,
it's a very small part.
He was in the warehouse.
Nate.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Dude, when he's walking around and he's getting people's energy out of the office, that's what I thought of was The Office.
Yeah.
I love when he's with the pencil sharpener. He's like looking around.
And then you angered him or whatever. I can't remember what he says, but...
Oh, my God. Yeah, no, that...
But, dude, when he meets Evie, and they have that relationship or whatever, and, like, that whole... Everything about that storyline, that's my favorite part by far.
Yes.
And my favorite episode.
Yeah, I can show
How much time we got?
We only got so much. So, yeah, what is your score?
Score? Oh... Dude,
the first 5 episodes.
You gotta do 9. You gotta do 9.5 out of 10.
Okay.
I think it's damn near. Dude, I want to watch Dave now because like FX is fucking murdering. Like,
yeah, Dave is actually pretty good too.
Yeah.
So actually, I agree with Red. The energy vampire dude. He's
incredible. The way he's like in his room when they go down there, and he's just sitting there on the side of his bed.
Well, like the thing
and
is,
they're like, I didn't know he was in there.
I pretty much equated him to Toby at first,
kind of, yeah.
And then I was just like, no, he's got a little bit more pull than Toby.
And he gets better,
right? I can imagine, but no, I agree with him. That episode where he meets Evie, the fight that him and her have. In the
when
office,
they chase the dude into the bathroom, bro.
But even
that's the best part.
The fight that they have when they're interacting with each other.
My cat has autism.
Yo, I'm trying so hard to remember what she had said because them two, the lines that they were spewing back and forth.
When she said my cat had autism, I was on the floor almost.
Dude.
When they're in the restaurant and they're playing up the waiter, and they're like, "Do you guys want your meal now?" Oh, we're already feeding.
Right. That and at the end of the episode where they break up, basically, and she's like, "Oh,
I'll kill myself.
Kill myself." And he's like, "Huh?" She's like, "No, I'm just."
Like it took the 5th time where he's like, "Fuck, I gotta."
What about the werewolf episode though?
I think that was the same episode.
That's the 3rd episode.
That's the same one.
Yeah.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Wait, when he pisses on the lawn, right?
That was my runner-up,
dude.
though.
How about the Baron going out on a night on the town?
I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, you have. That's episode 5, isn't it?
No.
Oh, no shit. My bad.
No, you watched ahead.
Oh, I did watch ahead. My bad.
Spoiler,
my bad.
That's fucking hilarious.
So, by the way, you're gonna love that episode.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
but no, that was the other part that I loved because at the end though, where they're all walking home and everything, and they stop. He's like, "Hey, can we keep it?" Like, everybody spread out, looking for a fucking bone, dude. That shit.
So, by the way, Seth
Fucking
Rogen's
hard.
sister's in the movie. She plays the one that is it by the 5th episode they meet her? Where
The
like,
show or the movie?
In the show.
You said movie.
I'm sorry, in the show. So, what's her name? Fucking Nadja. It's the girl, the college age girl that like she's like mentoring.
She was like in
That's
the
Seth
second or
Rogen's
third
sister.
episode.
She's
No
in the
shit.
she's
No
in the
way.
female Superbad that came out like a year or two ago.
Oh,
What was it
shit.
called? Olivia Wilde directed it. Fucking.
Oh, I didn't see
Oh
that
my
one.
god, it's dude.
You got to give me a name, man.
Apparently, it was really good. Too.
Olivia Wilde directed
I know
it.
what
It
you're
was
talking
her
about.
and this other blonde girl.
was
Like
some-
it's like
Booksmart
Superbad for
or
chicks.
some shit?
Booksmart, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had no
So like
idea.
that's Seth Rogen's sister.
Yeah.
So like when I saw her, I was like, "That's Seth Rogen's sister." And everybody around me was like, "Really?" I'm like,
Yeah, and I can't wait to see more
So,
of
yeah,
her. To be
that's-
honest with you, like she seems. Pretty
I guarantee you
hilarious.
she's gonna stick around because she's. I mean, I'm not gonna say she's big time, but she's Seth Rogen's sister.
Right. But for the first, Yeah, but honestly, I think episode 3 is it has the werewolf fight and the vampire fight. Honestly, that episode was probably one of the best so far for me, just because of just the one-liners.
Well, did you guys catch the subtle vampire jokes? Not only when they hiss at
Well,
each
yeah,
other, where it's
that-
like, "Can we enter?
Yeah.
Can we enter?"
At the
vampire
kennel?
can't
Or
enter
at the,
anywhere without
well,
permission.
that and the glitter joke.
Animal
Yeah,
The
control
glitter joke was a
shit.
clear
Yeah.
shot at fucking
Bro, when they said the bat had
Twilight.
like English
Twilight.
facial features and a boner, I was like,
Yo, fuck, and he's trying to control the cat.
It's so funny because they're trying to get into the animal control. He's like, "Can we enter?
Yeah.
Can we enter?"
That was my favorite episode.
he's like, we close at 11, sir. He's like, but can I enter?
Right.
I know you are, but can I enter?
So yeah, I'm gonna give the first 5 a good solid 9 for sure. Definitely. All right,
Hell yeah.
Jofer.
Real quick. All right, definitely the fucking animal control episode.
Because that was also more when she,
Dude, but
she
not
dates
only that-
Gregor. She goes out with him and she.
Well, yeah, no, she's
unlocks
trying to
his mind.
she's trying to unlock it and everything. But to me, like, no, it was just the fact that you've got fucking vampires breaking into an animal control facility to rescue one of their homies. Like, they should, like, it's like, okay, yeah, let's bail someone out of jail. No, fuck that. Like, let's just see if we can I enter my way into a fucking animal control place?
I love when he's recalling
So-
his past lives and he's replays a horse. And he's like stomping
Yes!
around.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's the maid.
I like how she's like, and every time he loses his head.
So how
All right.
about
So, quick score, it's going to be an 8-5, and then, yeah, we can talk about the other shit because we only got, what,
Yeah, we
2
only got
minutes?
a couple minutes.
So you
here.
talk
2
about the
minutes.
improv shit. A moment that I was like, "That's improv," is when they're in the animal shelter or whatever, and he's about to leave, and he goes, "I made a pact with them. I got to break them out." And he goes back, and he goes back, and he goes. This is the part though. He goes.
I know where you're going with this.
He goes, "You've all been imprisoned." And then one of the cats goes, "Meow," and he goes, "Yes, without trial."
Dude, and that had to have
Bro.
been like, dude, like literally, if it was really improv, dude, imagine being behind the scenes of that shit. Like, you just hear the meow, yes, without a trial, and you're like,
You gotta die.
imagine you being the boom operator with that shit. You're like,
He's at the end of the episode. That character Laszlo's rocking out with all the cats attached to him. He's like, "Alicia Claus, you ungrateful bastards!"
Right. No, and the thing is too. Honestly, though, what I really enjoyed though is the fact that out of all of them, he's the only one when he transforms into a bat, he yells "bat." Bat. Lose it every time he says that, it gets a giggle out of me. I don't know why.
I've been compared
I
to
will put it this
Laszlo,
way:
actually.
I'm like I said, I'm currently caught up. It only gets better.
I can imagine.
Oh,
Can't
no,
wait,
right.
man. I honestly can't wait. I've gone a little bit ahead, so.
All right. Well,
As y'all know.
this is pretty much the end. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. All those who've chatted with us throughout
gang,
the show.
gang.
Didn't know there was 2 separate sections. Whatever. But join us on our next episode 2 weeks from now. We will finish off Devs. We will finish off the first season of What We Do in the Shadows. And being that this is our anniversary episode, 1 year here, we are finally going to review Mandy. It's happening. If y'all have been with us since the beginning of the start of the show,
Thank
we've
you.
evolved. Thank y'all for sticking with us. Tell your friends. But also, if you remember, you probably don't, but if you do, we were supposed to review Mandy ages ago.
It was like episode
First
1 or
episode
2
ago.
or-
Yeah, it was like episode or 2. 1 or 2.
A year ago.
It was around there. It was a year ago. So we're going to finally do that. So tune in. That's not necessarily my pick. I'm doing this for our engineer who decided to step out.
He's trying
But
to
yeah. So, any last words, Joe, for Bodega Pirate?
As always, fuck GameStop.
Correct.
Just fuck GameStop. Black Lives Matter, and as always, stay hydrated so we don't thirst for these fucking hoes.
Thanks. Chuckles.
Give another music recommendation.
All right.
Been going back and listening to this band I love. They put out 1 album and 3 other songs and fell off the face of the earth. They're called Only Thunder
Okay.
from Denver. Basically like a punk band, if you anything along the lines of like Small Brown Bike or Hot Water Music, where they got a tad bit of like not necessarily scream but more gruff vocals, but very like nice melodic music with tapping lines, a little bit of complicated punk music. It's absolutely fantastic.
And what was the name of the band again?
Only Thunder. The album's called Lower Bounds.
Solo trueno en español.
All right. Big Red. Any last
You will
words?
not find that if you Google that.
Dude, it's been a whole year, and I think it's awesome. and I love every viewer.
Nah,
Dude,
salute to you
Cheers.
and Chuckles for sure, dude.
Every fucking viewer, and I'll do a music recommendation as well. Not as indie as him, but Freddie Gibbs' Alfredo. Fucking, I've been listening to that nonstop, and also Run the Jewels 4.
Yes.
RTJ4 is fucking killing it, man.
Yes.
So
that last fucking track was fucking flame.
For the firing squad?
Yes.
Fuck you. Literally. All right.
Bo Diddly Dinks.
All right,
Congratulations, man, for a year.
Thank y'all for all that have been here through the year. It's been a long year, but we are going to be doing even greater things going forward.
Again, big things are going.
Stay tuned. In the next few months, we got some good things that are going to happen. But share, like, subscribe, send some suggestions, talk some shit, whatever have you. I want to thank y'all. Sergio, we got anything on deck over there? We got a song lock and loaded?
Free the homie from Facebook too. I forgot to say that.
Sure don't.
All right, put something in there.
Free the homie from
You know
Facebook.
what? Since it's a year, I want some laws.
Hey, that Freddie Gibbs is
I want some
produced
Life
by
of
an
Pi.
alchemist, by the way.
I want some Life of Pi.
Boom, got you.
But again, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you for my engineer for holding it down for when he does hold it down. My crew, Chuck, thank you. Bodega Pirate.
I got late to the party, but thank you.
Thank you for still coming. And you, Mr. Big Red. Aruba, you out there. I still love you, bruh. Thank you for being a part of our team, even though you ain't been with us for a minute. Still love you, dog. And thank y'all for everybody tuning in, liking, and everything. Appreciate y'all very much. I know it may not be much to a lot of others, but for me, I thank you.
We appreciate every one of you.
I got Life of Pi loaded up right now by Laws. We're going to let that spin, but I want to thank y'all for tuning in. It's Bo the Fool, capital L. I love y'all. Peace.
Peace. Thanks again.
It's like 20 years old, I was sewing on my oats. All I needed was a hoe in a boat. I had a 2-chain flow, yeah, I go for the throat. I'll pray to God and hope someone will provoke the wrath. Yeah, my punchline, no book of revelations. A funeral home logs, a book of reservation. I never was patient, a blunt plus pacing. My 1-bedroom turned me into raps Jason. All I ever wanted was a tour around the globe, but all I got was a dime piece tearing off of clothes. My eyes closed, yeah, I'm going inside. My pops drink a lot of brew, but you know he provide. My boys aren't always round, but you know they'll ride. 3:14 a.m., the life of Pi, so who am I? Feeling like a Pakistan Jackie Chan. Used to leave a Barbie doll feeling like Raggedy Ann. My style's free, it doesn't have to be planned. I'm only looking for disciples, you don't have to be fans. I'm not God or the devil, I'm the last mushroom on the final level. When the Lord above won't test you, yup. Yeah, I'm going inside, my pops drink a lot of brew, but you know he provide. My boys aren't always round, but you know they'll ride. 3:14 a.m., the life of Pi, so who am I? Yeah, I'm going inside, my pops drink a lot of brew, but you know he provide. My boys aren't always round, but you know they'll ride. 3:14 a.m., the life of Pi, so who am I? You talk a lot of math, but your numbers low. Your lack of content got me like, fuck it though. You Al-Qaeda, always saying how you gonna blow. When it come man to man, you don't really want it though. I read the Vedas back to front and scream Hare Krishna, and hit the block with my brain stock with ancient wisdom. The lifestyle of an urban wizard is what I'm living. I make a girl disappear like a magician. I got my sleeves rolled up like I was fixing. See my younger self playing Excite Bike and Psychic Visions. Yeah, the hating kinda loud when Uncle Mike is spitting, but my faith moved mountains like a Christian. I like a vixen. I hate new rap. You can find me swinging on a new jack like Michael Bivins. Your stomach growls while I'm reading. That's nutrition. Me, her, and her girlfriend. That's addition. Yeah, I'm going inside. My pops drink a lot of brew, but you know he provide. My boys aren't always round, but you know they'll ride. 3:14 a.m., the life of Pi, so who am I? Yeah, I'm going inside. My pops drink a lot of brew, but you know he provide. My boys aren't always round, but you know they'll ride. 3:14 a.m., the life of Pi, so who am I? The sunrise on my burned eyelid, so I slid across my back on the raft where I live. Must be my own fault, I'm lost at sea. Sometimes I wonder God is all for me. And am I part of your dream? Am I an angel or a demon? Am I part of your team? Because as hard as it seems, whenever I feel pressure, you right there with me. Even when a trash bag closed like Missy. I woke up and she said kiss me, but she like a day job, keeping many men busy. My life like a cartoon, the 20 twins saying twist me. But I open the bag and something smells fishy. You can't transcend if your wheels spin. Watching Band of Brothers, those some real men. And finding money's harder than finding a real friend. Harder than climbing a mountain looking for a healing gem. I'm going inside. My pops drink a lot of brew, but you know